Hey folks, welcome back to MusicalConman plays Slay the Spire, and today I have with me a very special guest. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Radiokie, friend of MusicalConman, and I'm looking forward to being tutored in a little Slay the Spire.
Wonderful. I just remembered, this will go even smoother if I screen share Slay the Spire so that Radiokie can experience it with me. So...
Oh, I thought we would just, do it verbally, you just describe the game state, and we would figure it out.
Yeah, so I'll just let me just run through your list. We have 12 relics. Let me go through each of them and their descriptions. Each of the three enemies have 37, 49, and 263 health, respectively. Our current status effects are...
Right.
Alright, so our hand is... 9 cards.
Could you repeat all of that again? I missed everything.
Alright, so we took Snecko Eye, so our hand is full of 9 cards. So we have 3 copies of Strike, but one of them costs 1, one of them costs 0, 2 of them... Yeah, alright. Can you see that alright, Radiokie?
Yeah, I've got a good view.
Alright. And still appears to be recording. Alright. And let's go ahead and... You know what? Oh, I just had one more idea. I just realized I have... No, you know what? I was going to say, will it record properly while I'm doing a screen share, but I have done it for another game, and we're just gonna start playing.
Sounds good.
Alright, so, you have requested to play the Silent. My save file is on Ascension 2, but we can hop on down to Ascension 1 if you like.
Yeah, let's do it. I think that'd be nice to mirror my save file.
Yeah, so you can see your unlock progress is 999 out of 1,000. Pretty close.
So close.
I think you're gonna unlock me something. So, before we get going, you wanna, say, what's your background with Slay the Spire? How much have you played? How do you like it so far?
Yeah. Let me, I played a decent amount. I've gotten through the, early game of, unlocking all the characters, beating the hearts, and starting the Ascension process. I've talked with you a little bit about it, too. But yeah, I'm definitely, starting to hit sort of what feels like a plateau when it comes to the understanding I have of I don't know, maybe overarching plan going into it, because I do try to and actually I'll talk about that when we play too, sort of my plan when we have the map and where to go and stuff like that. But yeah, I've got a I'd say a moderate understanding of the game at this point.
Yeah, so I figured today we'd try something, do a little kind of sort of coaching session or play, whatever's fun. Yep, 8 gigabytes of free space on this drive. It should be fine. And if we record for long enough to use that, we'll know.
Yeah.
Alright, so without further ado, shall we embark?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Greetings. Alright, so, you got some whale bonuses here. I can show you the map if you like. So,
yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So let's talk a little bit about whale bonuses, right?
Yeah, definitely. So
here, obviously, you get to choose between 4 options to figure out what you think will be best. And obviously, some of these are more exciting than others. Sometimes you might obtain a random rare card, or get a curse, but choose a rare card, right? And which might figure out which of these is better, what rare cards are good early on versus later on, all that stuff. Also, our seed is I suck, so that's unfortunate.
Oh yeah.
Youch. But we also want to take a look at the map a little bit, right? So we can see what we're going up against. It looks like there's a lot of events available early on. We could go to a shop this way. There's a lot of opportunities to fight elites. Super elite down this way, and we will be fighting Slime Boss.
Okay.
So, it looks like we could get... So usually it's nice if you can get a campfire before an elite, but you don't have to. If you get strong cards and you think you can kill elites, you can just go straight into it. But if you're planning out, it's nice to have the option to go to campfires. One thing you might not know is, so these hallway fights, there's actually 2 different kinds of hallway fights. There's normal hallway
Oh.
fights and hard hallway fights. So each act has different sets of hallway fights. Your first 3 fights are normal fights, and then
I see.
after that, they're all hard fights. So
Holy shit! I did not know that. That's so
yeah,
cool.
so that's actually something to keep in mind. So if you it's risky taking like 5 hallway fights in a row before you get a bonfire or elite or a shop or anything, because then if you don't have any relics, you don't have any, upgrades. Elites have a higher chance to give you rare cards as well. Ton of hallway fights can chomp you, but
Right.
we don't need.
Oh, can I interject real quick? I have a quick
Please.
question about the merchant. So my recent strategy has been to not go for an early merchant and try to save up some money first so that I can like get potentially like a relic from the shop or an expensive neutral card or colorless card. I was wondering like how that aligns with your strategy with merchants.
Yeah, I think it's usually something like that. I don't mind going to an early merchant if fits with a good path. Obviously, if I took a whale bonus that gave me if we had a whale bonus that gave a curse here, I would be interested in that, especially if there was like a shop right away to get that curse out of my deck. Whereas if, I wouldn't want to take a curse if it was super late. Same for if we got a gain a bunch of gold bonus. I would look and see, well, is there a shop really early on, or am I going to go through half the act before that helps me?
Gotcha.
So, it doesn't look like we have anything here that super affects. We don't have, like, something that super affects a shop. We don't have. So, max HP is just generically nice to have. Random rare card is kind of hit or miss. You might get. There are a couple rares that are nice early in the run, but there are a few that are very situational.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing to think about when you're playing through Act 1 is generally you want to add damage cards first so that you can kill the Act 1 elites. Then in Act 2 you want to start getting your defense together.
I see. Okay.
Because in Act 1 you can kill enemies before they kill you, but you can't really block because you just don't have the resources to do it. Whereas Act 2, you need to do the same amount of damage, but they hit way harder.
Yes, I do remember many a deck that just dies in Act 2.
Yeah, death in Act 2 is a very real thing. So, random boss relic is a very high impact dice roll. We could get something really good. We could also get something that puts a huge limitation. And
yeah.
Ring of the Snake isn't that great at the start of the game because you just have strike and defend, and you already have enough strike and defense. Late in the game, you have specific cards, you have powers that you really want to get into play. Ring of the Snake is incredibly good.
That makes a lot of sense to me, because I think I always have a tendency to because I do value Ring of the Snake, I think because of thinking about that late game, but I didn't actually consider how it isn't that useful early game because you just, as you said, have strikes and defense.
Yeah, exactly. So that's something to think about. Card draw is really good when you have a wide variety of cards, and you might want a very specific card for a very specific situation. But if most of your cards do the same thing, you get 5 every turn.
Yeah, no big deal.
So, we could talk all day, but I'm worried I might lose my special guest here if we do that. So.
No, I'm very engaged. I will say, my gut, I always love to die roll and get a random rare card just to see if something really nice pops up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is there something that stands out to you right now?
What I'll say is choose a rare colorless card I do not value very highly. I'm getting a phone call from someone I thought was in this home. Okay, the phone call has ended. Cool.
Okay.
I was wondering what was going on there. I missed the call. I'm okay with that. Said person has just gotten a new phone, so who knows? Maybe they're testing stuff. So,
right.
I will say, rare colorless cards don't tend to be that great. Colorless cards are good, maybe, sometimes if you need a very specific thing. And not unless you already have that. So I'm going to say this one usually sucks.
Yeah, I tend to think of rare colors cards as answers when you already have a deck build. It's oh, this is actually this would fit what I'm looking for.
Yeah, so
Anyways.
Another nice thing is we got a good variety of paths here that let us fight elites. Like, we can fight elites, we can take a lot of bonfires, we can take a lot of events, we can take a lot of fights. So, like, if we start, for example, around here, like, we can take events, we can take fights, we can do pretty much everything we could do on this side. So if we start, like, around this node, we've got just about every option we would have elsewhere. I'd say comparing this side to this side, like, we could do the same thing here or here, but I would rather have the campfire before the elite instead of after the elite.
That makes sense.
So, I'd say max HP 7 is reliable. Random rare card, it could be good or bad, and we can pick our path based on how that is. Boss relic is kind of for fun.
I see. Yeah, I guess like I'm leaning. I love random rare card just because it might be something good. If you're down.
Granted. Okay, so we got a bullet time. You cannot draw additional cards this turn. Reduce the cost of all cards in your hand to 0 this turn. So that's not... It's not necessarily amazing with the starter deck, but I'll tell you when it is really nice. Turn 1 with Ring of the Snake.
Yeah, I see. Oh, that's...
Yeah, so, I mean...
That's not too shabby. That's like, I feel like mid-draw, like, for a random card.
I mean, worst case scenario, we draw this with, like, 2 basic cards, or 3 basic cards and 1 neutralize. We spend 3 energy to play 3 energy worth of cards. And more often, we spend 3 energy to play 4 energy worth of cards. And of course, we can start adding better stuff to our deck. So this, it kind of costs us a card draw, but sometimes it gives us a benefit. I'd call this pretty neutral. So, where do you want to start? I think probably off to the right is...
Yeah, the center node to me looks pretty good.
This has
a lot of options.
This does everything this does, and everything this does, so I think, like, before we even make a plan, that's just it. So, we got bullet time, so I'm gonna say we probably just full block and hit it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I could play extra defense, but I figure you probably don't need to micromanage my every mouse click, so this turn,
yeah, honestly,
pretty simple.
Early game, yeah, you can just kind of go for it, and I'll let you know if there's like a situation that comes up where I'm like kind of confused as to what to do.
Yeah, so I mean, we always play neutralize. We always strike, and like we could just another strike, but I think blocking is probably reasonable here, right?
Yeah, just save any health we can.
Cool.
Interesting.
Alright, so this should have attacks. Alright, and that's lethal.
Nice.
And
this... Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying I'm getting used to keyboard controls, as I say in every video.
For sure.
I'm used to Switch. Your turn.
Oh, I was gonna say, and this will come up in a moment, but like, for the map, do you kind of try to have a balance of like events and like fights and everything? Because like, I've recently started like maybe over prioritizing just getting into a lot of fights, just because of like the ability of getting more cards in my deck and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I mean, fights are really good because cards are useful in a card-based game, definitely. Right. I would say once you start to get, like, if you get into the game a lot, as I have, and have watched, like, videos of other people explaining the game to me, I mean, not me specifically, but people including myself, I suppose.
For sure.
I do not have a personal coach. Anyway, I've watched videos by, like, a YouTube creator who goes by Jorbs, who talks about how, like, the list of events available that can spawn in each act. So one thing that's worth knowing is Act 2 events are really good. Act 3 events are pretty good. Act 1 events, a lot of them require you to trade health as a resource for something else. They can be more mixed. And Act 1, since you don't have like any cards, you really want to get those first 3 easy hallway fights in, like pretty soon, and then later on you want to start getting events, like more in the second half of the act. So, a little roundabout, but I hope that answers your question.
No, that was perfect. I get it now.
And, like, if you start to think about the game at, like, a really high level... So Slay the Spire is a game where if you wanted to play it as well as possible, you would have, like, 6 spreadsheets open and spend an hour on every turn. It's the fact that you can do that does not really mean that most people do unless they are competing for, like, world record.
Yeah, I think at my level, I'm down to just like have some rules of thumb and maybe lose some games that I would have otherwise won.
Absolutely.
I'm not spreadsheeting.
Yeah, for me, it's satisfying to know that, like, I can answer these questions without necessarily being like, I'm going to. Like, if I play poker with friends, I'm not going to be like, hold on, let me open Microsoft Excel. I'm going to be like, I'd like to call, because it seems like the fun thing to do. Like, I'll think about the math, because if I've looked at it before, I'll know, like, oh, I might have good odds of doing this, but I'm not usually going to run the figures. Let's add our first card.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Bane, Crippling Cloud, Acrobatics.
I guess I'm leaning toward Crippling Cloud just because of our our rare card that we have, and
So
it just seems like a decent answer to a lot of things.
Yeah, so that's a good thought, because with bullet time, like, we are a little extra incentivized to pick up 2-cost things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, Bane is, right now, it's just a strike that deals 1 extra damage, because we don't have any poison.
Yeah.
Acrobatics, we can draw more strikes. Crippling Cloud, I actually rate very highly, because...
Oh, good.
Yeah, like, 2 weak to all enemies, it's really nice AoE, because think of it like... Dagger Spray deals 8 damage to all enemies for 1 energy. This deals, over time, 10 damage to all enemies, and applies weak to everything. If you upgrade it, it does more. And of course, that's 10 damage if you have over 4 turns if you have no other poison, but if you have other poison, it's 4 damage per turn.
Yeah.
Alright, Wing Statue. Remove a card or don't. I like
guess
removing...
it's only 7 HP, yeah.
Yeah, I like removing probably a... Well, I usually like removing a strike. We don't have any other attacks, but defends are a lot better, like, later in the game than strikes are. So
Totally.
So if you want to... What do you want to remove?
Well, I was thinking about that too, because there's sort of this, like, transition I had where, like, I used to always remove strikes before defends. But then I kind of went a little too far the other way, where I was like starting to remove some defends, and I was like, oh shoot, Act 2 is hard. But yeah. I think in this case, removing a strike seems prudent.
Cool. Yeah, because the thing is, with Silent, a lot of times you want to get dexterity and stuff so that your defends become, really good cards that you're happy to draw. But, like, no matter how much strength you gain, you would pretty much never rather have a strike than anything else, any other attack.
Yeah.
So, we could go event, or we could get some more hallway fights in. Consider a shop. Thoughts?
I think, yeah, the latter sounds good to me. Get some more hallway fights done.
I'd like to get another card. Okay, bullet time and play everything, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
So, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is going to take 7 damage over the next 2 turns, so if we play Strike, it doesn't quite kill it. Which one do you want to do more or less damage to?
I don't know. It's really kind of like could go either way for me. Like, let's see.
Okay, so
I guess I'll take. I would say less damage to the one that has the greater armor, which is like armor value. That's kind of like the rule of thumb that I do. I think is that what I do?
Sure. So we'll just pop one of each. So then that will die to this poison. Eventually. Like 3 plus 2, it will die next turn if we don't do anything, but I suggest we do something.
I would agree. Nice.
Style on him.
Gotta let them get the poison damage. Oh, footwork.
Yeah, so we could take a footwork. Terror is better if we have, attacks, or skewer is just a way to always put our energy into it. We can put all our energy into attacks. So you like footwork here?
Yeah, I would say, like, in order, it kind of goes for me, like, footwork, then terror, and then skewer much lower, because, like, I mean, especially right now, we don't have, like, a lot of energy to play with, and bullet time doesn't really work with that. And dexterity is just, like, such a functional thing to have at any point in the game, I feel like.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and take footwork then. For me, personally, I actually rate skewer the highest of these, believe it or not. Because we don't have any damage in our deck, really, and with an upgrade, this can become 30 damage like, to whatever we need to deal 30 damage to, which can be really clutch in Act 1 against, say, sentries, where you might only draw one good card with a bunch of dazes or something like that.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'd be down to honestly take a skewer. I just didn't get the reasoning behind it, but now I do, so that does sound really good.
So, right now, I would say that if we take a bunch of defensive cards, then we'll go fight an elite, and it will be Gremlin Knob, and every time we defend, it will just get stronger, and we will be unable to kill it. So with Skewer, we have a chance at killing Gremlin Knob, especially if we upgrade it, with 4 poison total and a bunch of strikes. Gremlin Knob kills us pretty much every time. Well, on higher extension. I don't know what it's like here, but... Okay, so we could do another fight to get a card, or do a shop to just get some cards a different way.
Right. I guess 130 gold, likely we'll be able to get anything that is like a class card at a shop. That, I guess, we'd have a higher guarantee of getting like a damage card from a shop, probably, that we'd want, versus a fight. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, we could look for it, but honestly, I think it's not like we're going to be forced into a ton of hallway fights. This act is pretty event-heavy. It can be if you want to, so I'd say probably just hallway fight. Get another card that way.
That sounds good.
Also, we really want to get a potion before our elite fights, and the way potion chance works, I think it starts at like 30-40%, but basically, after every fight, you have a chance to get a potion, so let's say it starts at 40%, or 30, let's say it starts at 30. If you get a potion, it goes down 10%, if you don't, it goes up 10%. So right now, our potion chance is 20% higher than normal.
Okay.
Okay, so here is a case where we can just skewer for 21 damage.
I see.
So we could go strike, strike, defend, we could go crippling cloud, defend, or we could just go crippling cloud, strike, and get hit.
I guess probably crippling cloud, defend is what I'd be thinking.
Yeah, I think, like, crippling cloud is going to do some damage to it over time. I don't think this is a difficult turn.
No.
The nice thing about crippling cloud is, a lot of times against this enemy, you're worried about playing defensive because it just keeps getting buff, and you worry that if you defend too long, it will just start slapping you for 25 damage, 28 damage, 31 damage.
Right.
But crippling cloud is like, oh, the longer you delay, it's just going to get some value out of that. Okay, so we could just do some cheap damage, we could take another skewer, we could take a dodge and roll, we could skip.
Okay. I don't know. I never know how to play with Masterful Stab. I'll say that when I kind of avoid just on principle, because like I don't know. I guess like I don't know if I'll like end up in a situation where it suddenly like isn't valuable to have. But I don't know. I guess like my gut right now is Masterful Stab, just because sounds, or like another skewer maybe, just as you were saying about trying to get a lot of damage for those elite fights early on. Yeah.
I think one copy of Skewer has a lot of value, because if you draw them both at the same time, it's like, oh, well, cool. Unless you have Chemical X. I like Masterful Stab here. I think Masterful Stab is unlikely to be very useful later in the game, but do you know what is really nice about that? The part where we're still playing later in the game, because we were able to deal a bunch of damage in Act 1. So, we've had 3 elite fights. This one would be hard. We could take an event, or we could fight a hard fight.
I guess probably event here, just so that we're like as prepped as we can for the elite.
Okay, we got the Forge event, so we can upgrade one card, or we can get a special relic. This relic is very, very good, by the way.
Okay, yeah, let's get the relic then. I don't think I've ever actually gotten this event.
Oh, cool. Well, you duck into a small hut. Inside, you find what appears to be a forge. The smithing tools are covered with dust, yet a fire roars inside the furnace. You feel on edge. You decide to see if you can find anything of use. After uncovering tarps, looking through boxes, and checking nooks and crannies, you find a dust-covered relic. Taking the relic, you can't shake a sudden feeling of sharp pain as you exit the hut. Maybe you discovered some kind of spirit? So, this upgrades, at the start of our turn, upgrades a random card in our hand for the rest of combat.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that buffs us a lot.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, like, even if we don't take a lot of upgrades, a lot of times the cards we want will just get upgraded by happenstance. Like,
yeah.
Over a long fight, like, eventually our skewer will deal 30 damage instead of 21. Pain is a pretty rough curse. It's unfortunate if we have bullet time and we want to play a bunch of cards, but we're planning to get rid of it. This does incentivize us to hit one of these shops. If we get a chance, get that out of our deck. So this choice here, we can take this elite right now, then it takes us into a bunch of hallway fights. We do get 2 campfires, but we could get 1 campfire now. We could get 2 campfires this way, and we can get more elites on this path. I don't think there's a reason to go this way, unless we just love hallway fights and want to do, like, 12 of them.
Yeah, and there's no merchant anyways, so, like, yeah. Left seems pretty bad.
Yeah.
Or right seems pretty bad.
Recall is pretty much something to do in Act 3.
Okay.
It's just, like, if you're going to spend... Think of it this way, like, if you're going to spend most of the... Like, you're going to spend 1 campfire on Recall, and, like, how much of the run do you want to spend with your upgrades? Is the answer most of it, or the very end?
I see, yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
I think healing is silly here, so we can upgrade a Neutralize for defense, but we have Crippling Cloud for extra weak. We can upgrade a Crippling Cloud to go to 7 poison, which is pretty strong, or a Skewer, just as a strong single target. I think those are both strong upgrades. Preference?
Probably Skewer, just because, especially with the boss, like the elites in Act 1, it's like you're trying to outpace them, so like damage now seems more valuable, I guess.
Sure. I will say, going from 7 poison, over 3 turns, 7 plus 6 plus 5 is 18 damage, which is something to consider, but we don't need to spend 6 hours on every choice. I'm not sure what I would pick there. Elite then hallway, hallway then elite. I think...
Might as well do elite now, right? Because...
Yeah, gives us more choices later, too.
Yeah.
Okay, so... I think what I do here is I play the Survivor first to discard the pain.
Totally.
Take 1 damage. And I think we do probably Crippling Cloud here, but I think we probably neutralize to get the poison. I'm going to say we do one of the outside ones, because we really like to kill one of those next turn, if at all possible.
Yeah, no, I that's actually how I play these too, where like the cycle is better if it hits the outside ones.
So we'll take out the artifact, we'll make them all weak. We don't have any more poison, but now Skewer Plus and is going to get them. Luckily we keep our Masterful Stab. I don't think there's a good case to use the potion that turn.
Yeah.
I'm on team just kill one of them.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Blocking for 8 is nice. But then what? You know, you take 4, or we take 6 and one of them is dead. Alright. Because the real thing, fights like this, is they can just drag on so long. Unfortunate. Oh no. Masterful Stab has very bad synergy with Pain.
Yeah, we'll have to get rid of Pain as soon as possible.
But I think defend, strike.
Sounds good.
Does some work. Preference. It's just a question of how many turns it takes to kill them. I haven't done the math on this. Left or right?
Let's do right. Why not?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Might as well.
Seems like right was the right choice.
Get that pain out of there.
We haven't really had a turn where it feels like skill card was super necessary. I will say, Tongs is actually really nice in this fight, because usually, like, as this fight goes on, you might only get 1 or 2 playable cards per turn. But
Yeah.
you know for sure they'll be upgraded. And, like, blocking for 8 instead of blocking for 5 when you only have 1. Nice masterful stab. Oops. Big.
It's gonna drop a quick 5 energy.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Listen, there's a skewer in there eventually.
There it is.
Alright, so we took like, what? We were at 6. We took like 15 damage for an elite, and we got question card. Very hype.
Wait, future card. Future card rewards have 1 additional card to choose. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It will not apply to the fight where we got it, because this card reward was generated before we picked up the relic.
I see.
But it still lights up when we open it, as if to say, oh, I'm definitely active. Which it isn't. Okay. We got Dagger Throw, we got Heel Hook, we got Backstab.
Huh.
So Heel Hook is kind of a combo card. If you have a lot of sources of weak, and we do have 2 sources of weak. Dagger Throw is just a, like, basic damage common that you kind of take in Act 1. And it has some utility if you get any discard synergies later, or if you just need to draw a card. Backstab is good, but I will say I think it has some kind of negative synergy with bullet time.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah, I guess probably just go for Heel Hook since it could play off. I don't know, unless you see there's something about Dagger Throw that stands out to you.
Dagger Throw does 9 damage in Act 1. That's basically it.
Okay.
Heel Hook does 5, but it has combo potential. And I like Dagger Throw, but Heel Hook is kind of planning for the future, depending on what we might get. Also, the art is great.
That's true. I'm a sucker for the Heel Hook art.
Alright, so we do that then?
Let's do it.
Alright. So this is our first hard hallway fight, Thief. So we could... Okay. I think we... Unless we want to just do, like, 34 damage and in turn and take 12, we're probably going to Survivor. So we want to get rid of pain, right?
Yeah. Or then neutralize and skewer or something.
Yeah, definitely neutralize.
Okay, sounds good.
So if for some reason we thought that we just didn't have any damage in our deck and we just had to kill this thing immediately, we could make the choice of forget blocking, just rush it down. I don't think that's
right.
Okay. So we've got a kind of niche defend that might have an upside later. We've got, and you could sort of hear my assessment of that right now.
Yeah, I never get Blur. It's just,
I take Blur.
It's so tricky.
If I have if I had like 3 copies of Footwork and I hadn't found any other block cards than Defend, like I would be super excited about Blur.
Yeah.
Terror, I don't think, like Terror can be nice, but I don't think we're that.
Yeah, it's like good for like one enemy to just like wear them out, but.
And we're not that committed to like dealing damage specifically with attacks. We have poison. Who knows where we'll go? Flying Knee is another attack common. We did just take an attack common, but it is kind of a strike minus a lot of the time. So we could take basically a little more damage, or Leg Sweep will be really good in Act 2.
I like Leg Sweep a lot whenever I get it.
Yeah, I like it too. So I think we're probably in good shape to fight another elite. We could do this elite, or we could do Campfire, Super Elite Shop. I think we have what it takes to make that work.
Yeah, I'm down. I love like hunting for the Super Elite in the first act.
Okay. Tip about Sapphire Key. You usually take it in Act 3 unless the relic is useless. This is not useless. So now whenever we play 3 attacks, we get block.
Hell yeah.
Alright, and we got bullet time with expensive card.
Yeah, this is a perfect bullet time turn.
Yeah, unfortunately we will not draw a card. Thanks, bullet time. But fortunately we will be fine. Don't draw pain. Okay, we drew pain, but I mean we got to deal 19 damage for 1 card, pain-wise.
Pretty worth.
Okay. So Terror, we've discussed. Catalyst would be nice if we had more than 4 poison total.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Bane would be nice if we had more than one, if we had like 5 sources of poison, which we don't. Quick Slash is a little better late game than other attack, than like, for example, a Flying Knee, because drawing a card can be useful, and it's worth noting with Ornamental Fan, like attacks that draw cards are a little extra valuable.
Right.
I like Quick Slash here.
Yeah, that was the one I was leaning toward as well.
We would consider Catalyst if we thought it could help us like get a really good split on Slime Boss, but it won't. I think Quick Slash helps more with that. So,
makes sense.
We could upgrade. If you were really worried about this Super Elite, we could just get to really high health and
if we were below 40, I'd be worried, but I think we're probably fine.
Honestly,
especially with the damage we have.
I think a good upgrade is likely to save us more health than resting. I think it's very much Crippling Cloud here.
I was thinking Crippling Cloud as well.
Yeah, because this upgrades for 4 damage once. This upgrades for 4 damage once. This upgrades for 3 damage every turn.
Very nice.
Crippling Cloud is also nice in the Slime Boss fight. Oh yeah, so you can't get the same Elite two fights in a row, so this is either Lagavulin or Gremlin Knob. It is Gremlin Knob with a ton of health. Good news, we got Crippling Cloud on turn 1.
Let's go.
Let's apply a bunch of wheat. Do you want to use the skill potion here? If you do, it would be probably for some sort of poison or something, and it would be this turn before it gets its buff. But we don't know that it'll be good.
Yeah, I think saving it, because I feel like we've got a good enough turn 1 that it'd be better to save for like a different situation.
Ornamental Fan is really nice against Gremlin Knob, because Gremlin Knob, generally, you're not going to block. Skewer, also really nice. You don't want to block against Gremlin Knob. It will beat you in that race, so you just need to go to the bottom of its health bar. So this turn we take 11, it takes 30, and we call that pretty good. So you don't want to block unless it's going to be worth a ton of... Like, you don't want to block for... If we were frail and we played a card that blocked for 3, we'd take 3 extra damage, and 3 extra damage next turn. Terrible. Defend, we would play Defend if we knew for certain that we could kill next turn. Then Defend would be a net benefit. But if we thought the fight might go like 3-4 more turns, Defend is actually making us take more damage. I will say, no matter what, we're playing Quick Slash and free heal hook.
Yeah.
So, personally, we could get some block and 2 weak. We could also strike and take the Ornamental Fan, take 6 damage, and then we have pretty good odds of killing it next turn. If we leg sweep, we just wait. We kill it when we draw Skewer. So basically, if you think you're going to draw Skewer next turn, leg sweep is correct. If you're not sure, taking 6 damage kind of lets you hedge your bets.
Yeah, I think 6 damage is the better. And yeah, we don't have the good odds of Skewer after a deck cycle, so...
We have 19 cards in our deck, so I'd say, like, you know, we have a couple cards that draw cards. So let's say generously we have like a 1/3 chance of drawing Skewer, so either guaranteed take 6 or like 2/3 chance of take like 20.
Yeah. Let's not.
Okay, so we do have lethal. I'm gonna go ahead and discard the pain to take 1 less damage. And yeah, cool.
Oh my god.
That's a Gremlin Knob. We get pair, so basically right back where we were with growth potential. Emerald Key, Explosive Potion, really nice against Slime Boss.
Gotcha.
And okay, these are some exciting cards. Alright, so Die. It's a card that does a lot of damage. It does it once, and it's really good in fights where you need to do a lot of damage once. Expertise is nice later, Catalyst is nice later, like if we have the decks for these. Dash is really good in Act 1, because Act 1 you're just trying to block and do damage at the same time. That said, we're pretty much done with Act 1, and this is better against Slime Boss than that. I think Die is a clear take here.
Definitely. No, that makes a lot of sense. There's this one, it's a normal fight in Act 1 where it's like 4, like bugs that all have like low health. So if you have like a like something like die that clears them, it's fine. But if you don't, it's just like such a grind. Kill them all.
There are a couple fights like that. I think one of them is in Act 1, one of them is in Act 2, and yikes, I eventually I will learn these things. So there is one with a bunch of little gremlins and one with a bunch of little slimes.
Yes.
And those are basically, if you have an area of effect card that's good, you win. And if you don't, yikes, unless you have a ton of single target power.
Yeah, you just take a ton of damage.
Yeah, Explosive Potion is good. Here's a really good thing to know about those fights. Those are hard hallway fights. They are not going to be in your first 3.
No,
so,
that blew my mind, like knowing that the first 3 fights are going to be the easy fights.
But hypothetically, if we had gone this way instead of this way, we could have fought that right here.
Right.
Yikes. Shopping time. Shops are probably the most complex part of the game.
Okay.
But card remove is really high value because pain sucks.
Yeah.
We could get strength, which is nice with skewer, and it's nice with ornamental fan because ornamental fan is kind of incentivizing us to play a lot of attacks, which works well with Vadra. Fun fact: Tiny Chest can actually kind of be considered a debuff. Like sometimes I've seen like good players turn down Tiny Chest, like open a chest, it has Tiny Chest in it. Just leave the chest behind.
Just not get it. Okay.
Because in Act 2 and 3, you might really want the apparition event. You might really want the bite event. You might really want stuff. And a treasure room is worse than those things. Lee's Waffle is nice if you really need a full heal. I think we can go into Slime Boss with 38 health.
Yeah, I like our deck a lot right now, so I think we're pretty good.
I'm going to say none of these are worth not taking card removes. So let's get rid of Pain.
Okay.
And with 161 gold, I don't think any of these are better than Vajra. I don't think we need a potion to survive Slime Boss, so that would be my thought here.
Yeah, I'm just making sure no. That makes perfect sense. Catalyst, we don't have any poison, so yeah. I think the Relic makes sense.
If we were fighting Hexaghost, I would really like Caltrops. That's the one that attacks like 6 times. It does.
Oh, the small hits.
Yeah, so then Caltrops is like 1 energy do, even if you kill it relatively quickly, 30 damage if you play it soon. But Slime Boss isn't like that. If you get to the part where Slime Boss is attacking with multiple enemies, you kind of don't want that to happen for long. If you're getting Caltrops value against Slime Boss, you're in pain.
Hey, what do you know? It's the fight.
Fun fact, Vadra gave us lethal on this.
Let's go, Vadra.
Strength Potion is great. We have Deadly Poison. Dagger Spray is also nice against Slime Boss. So Deadly Poison is a little bit of scaling damage for Act 2. Dagger Spray, also really good with Vadra. Decent with Ornamental Fan. I think we don't want a deck that is full of Strike Plus, but I think we have room for another Strike Plus.
Okay. Yeah, because I was actually leaning Deadly Poison, so that's interesting too. I guess like I have a difficulty of like synergizing around relics sometimes, and so like that makes sense to me that like Dagger Spray would be higher value in this case.
I also think it depends what boss we're fighting, right? Because Guardian or Hexaghost both have a lot of HP. They tend to be long fights, and so Deadly Poison can really help you tick down those big health bars faster. Slime Boss has basically half the health either of them do, and when you get it halfway down, it splits and your poison goes away, and Dagger Spray is really good.
That makes sense.
A lot of decks just really struggle to have enough damage to kill Hexaghost, and poison is like super good for Silent to deal with that huge enemy. Here I like Dagger Spray because it just meets a need.
Oh, quick question about Prepared. I don't think it works in our deck right now, but like, are there decks where it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna pick Prepared in Act 1 because it makes sense, or is it usually just like not worth it?
So here's the thing. It draws 1 card, it discards 1 card, right? Which seems nice, but actually it discards 2 cards because you have to draw it in the first place. And do you want to spend a card draw to look for another card? I don't know. Like,
it's usually not worth it to like have Yeah.
It's 0
Like,
energy, scry 1, and is that what you want in your deck?
Mm-hmm.
And
That makes sense.
now, Prepared Plus, draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards, is, like, all of a sudden, like, you know, it's an upgrade that literally doubles the effect, so all of a sudden it's a lot more worth considering. So I would consider Prepared in Act 1 if I had, let's say, Letter Opener, which is a relic where when you play 3 skills in a turn, deal 5 damage to all enemies. So I would take Prepared just to do that. If I just happened to have taken some really strong discard synergies in Act 1, I would take Prepared because it discards a card.
Right. That makes sense.
But on its own, like, Prepared doesn't do anything in Act 1 because it doesn't do damage or block. And that's all you're really doing in Act 1.
Right. Okay. That's very helpful. I always like. I think I tend to get prepared because of I'm thinking about its upgrade and like, oh, like the upgrade kind of makes more sense. But
yeah, so there's a lot of cards that are really good after you upgrade them, but you're almost never strong enough. If you're playing at an appropriate difficulty level, you're almost never strong enough that you can afford to take a card that doesn't help you now. Unless, for example, you're starting Act 2, you have no scaling damage, and you're like, I don't have any poison, but I'm going to fight Champ, and I need to take this Catalyst because I don't have a way to kill Champ right now. And Catalyst is one path I could kill Champ with. But we're not in that situation, so we could upgrade. We could upgrade for extra defense here. I think Leg Sweep is usually better than Neutralize as an upgrade, because it's one extra weak, but this gives more block. Ornamental Fan, maybe, but die. So the thing is, you don't want to just get high impact upgrades. You also want to upgrade the cards you're gonna play. We're almost certainly gonna play die every time we draw it. So that's a really good reason to upgrade it.
yeah, and I was also thinking about like how when the boss splits, like having die would be super useful.
Yeah. I would upgrade Dagger Spray against Slime Boss, but this is a 4 damage upgrade, this is a 4 damage upgrade, and frankly, this is going to be more useful in hallway fights later on.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see what we get. Do you want to Strength Potion here, or do you think we're good?
I don't know. We have honestly like a decent amount of. I think we can get him below 70 in. You know, what does it take him, like 2 turns before he does the big attack?
Yeah, so we have 2 turns for free, then on turn 3, either we split it, or we block, or we just get hit a lot.
Yeah, I feel like we can get him down to 70 by the end of turn 3 with this deck. But, I mean, that's just kind of the general sense.
We can deal 48 damage this turn. So let's do that.
Yeah, I think we don't need string.
Okay, I think we can deal some good damage this turn. So, we always quick slash this turn. And so I like Crippling Cloud here because it'll get it down to 76 this turn, then it's guaranteed to split next turn, and next turn we probably get Skewer, so we can get a really good split.
I like that.
I would have done Bullet Time if we had Bullet Time at the time.
Yeah.
I moused over Bullet Time and I was like, wait, am I a fool? But no, we did not have it. So, it's going to split, so let's split it good. We can Explosive Potion to split harder, but guess what? It is equally good anytime in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
If we had a Fire Potion that deals 20 damage to one enemy, I would play it there.
Right.
Okay, so...
getting a good split makes, like, all the difference in this fight.
So, what do you think here?
Let's see. Okay, 16 damage from the left. We have... Can't kill anything. Probably Leg Sweep is a guarantee for me.
So this deals 33 damage, which would certainly split one of them. 22 would also split. We could consider Explosive Potion. We could consider Skill Potion to block. So we got a lot of ways we could play this turn.
Mm-hmm. I guess like actually now that I think about it, getting like a guaranteed split on the 16 makes
Yeah.
a decent amount of sense.
So
And then
yeah. So we got a couple lines here. If we did leg sweep plus survivor, we guaranteed full block. Or if we did skewer plus survivor, we can split this one and full block that one. We do have dagger spray in our deck, but those little ones would have 20 health, which is something to consider. That said, explosive potion helps.
Yeah.
So we could full block and wait for a better split, or we could split now and full block. I think those are our best options.
Mm-hmm.
Or finally, I guess the last option would just be split really hard, take 11, and just get through the fight.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of high risk because then you have to deal with the other one potentially at like an inconvenient health.
That's what you do if you don't think you're strong enough to block damage, so you just take it now to avoid it later. I think we're doing okay. And also, Warped Tongs is crazy.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. So yeah, I guess I would say probably I would do a split now is kind of my thing.
Full mega split or block and split?
Well, okay, so with a mega split, that will get him down to 11,
9.
Right? 9.
Because we have Vajra, so it's 33.
And then we could potentially... Well, no, that's... I'm thinking about Dagger Spray. I was thinking, like, would that work?
Dagger Spray is a guaranteed kill if we're not weak or if it's upgraded, and we have Explosive Potion as a backup.
Yeah, I think doing the big split is probably my go-to.
On Ascension 20, I would say Survivor and Skewer, but on this level, I would say just do a big damage, and there's one huge difference. At this difficulty, you heal to full health at the end of the boss fight. At higher difficulties, you heal a percentage of your missing health, so you still heal for most of it, but you don't want to go down to 1 health, whereas here, like 1 health, 78 health, same health.
It's all the same, yeah.
We are not weak. We have Dagger Spray.
Nice.
This will not split, so we got a really good... I mean, I don't know if it's even a split if it just dies. I didn't consult with you on that split. I hope you're okay with it.
3 health maybe is a little too much for me. Just gonna put it out there.
Oh no, I forgot bullet time. Yikes.
Oh no.
Let's get that slime out of our deck. Anyway. Alright, potion. We could get rid of.
The skill one, maybe? Or, yeah.
I think Gambler's Brew gets a little extra value with bullet time. Gets a little extra value with Ornamental Fan. Those are both things where you might want to have specific cards.
Yeah.
Okay. Single target damage. Luckily, we already have Die and Vajra to help us and Skewer to help us burst things down, so I don't think we're desperate for Unload, which is just, strike ++. If you have discard synergies, it's interesting, but we don't. Alchemize is value over time. Tools of the Trade. What do you think about Tools of the Trade?
I kind of am a sucker for it. I just love cards moving through my deck, so I always pick up like stuff like that.
Yeah. What I'll say about Tools of the Trade is that if your deck tends to have fights that last 10 turns, it's great. But if your deck tends to have fights that last 10 turns, your deck is questionable.
Right.
I'm not saying Tools of the Trade is good if you have discard synergy already that you picked up because it was good or you got a transformation or whatever. But the thing about Tools of the Trade is turn 1, you spend 1 card and 1 energy for nothing. Turn 2, you draw a card, but you discard a card, so you have spent 1 energy to discard 1 card. Turn 3, you break even.
I have not thought about it that way. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So I have to say I'm leaning toward Corpse Explosion just because poison is Awesome.
I like Corpse Explosion, and our deck is currently very equipped with Dagger Spray, Die, and Corpse Explosion. We're actually, and Crippling Clad, we've got most of our needs for area of effect damage met. There are some fights where you just really need to have area of effect damage. We pretty much have it, so we can focus on other things instead of being desperate for it.
Gotcha.
Alright, Tiny House... You don't like Tiny House. It's just...
I don't like Tiny House. It's so bad.
It's just why? It's like...
I'm always mad when I draw it, because it's just like, damn. I want Black Star, or Dark Star, whatever it is.
Tiny House is like, wow, I fought two... It's like, wow, I fought, like, 2 extra hallway fights. Awesome.
So true.
And, like, remember, like, raise your max HP by 5, like... At the whale bonus, we chose max HP plus 7 or obtain a card are both like options. So raise your max HP by 5 is like, if we're doing equivalent here, it is valued lower than obtain a card. So like obtain 2 cards, get 1 potion, get 50 gold is basically 2 hallway fights and a random upgrade.
Yeah.
That's not good. So Slaver's Collar is interesting if you're planning to fight a lot of elites. And if your deck is really good at hallway fights without extra energy. I will say, Die, and Skewer are good at hallway fights. Astrolabe is just, hey, do you want your deck to be better? I see a case for either of these. This is good for elite hunting. This is just like, let's make our deck solid.
Yeah.
And this is really nice against bosses, of course.
Honestly, I'm leaning towards Slaver's Collar just because I do like elite hunting, and I feel like we can probably handle the hallway fights.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, we got choices here. We could go shop then elite, or we could go shop then elite. I prioritize events in Act 2, so I think this path is... So, there's a lot of stuff we might want to do up here, right? But... The thing is, anywhere we want to go past this point, this can get us there. Except take a campfire and go that way specifically.
Yeah.
If we want to go 3 elites, we can do that. So if we wanted to go like campfire and 2 elites, we could do that. But we can also go like campfire and 2 elites this way. 3 elites this way. Yeah, I don't think this...
no, definitely not the left path.
I think this is the ideal node.
For sure. No, that seems to hit everything that... we're going for. That's so interesting thinking about like events or the question mark nodes, because like I did not know that like the value level per floor or like per area.
Yeah. It has artifact, so I don't think we want to spend 2 energy to remove 1 artifact.
Yeah.
I think we want to get it very low. We could have done Strength Potion and Explosive Potion to kill this turn, but I'm not that scared of this fight. If only we had a Bullet Time plus. Okay, hold on, that's 14, 9 is 23, and 7 is 30, so we do not kill... what did I say? 30? Yeah, 21, 30. We do not
use explosive potion, I guess.
Yeah, that is. We would have to use both potions to kill, but also if we play 3 attacks, we Ornamental Fan, and I think I'm fine with taking 6 instead of spending a potion.
For sure.
Do we bullet time or do we try and draw a block card?
Honestly, our odds are like 50-50, I guess, probably.
Also, I mean, if we draw a defend, it gains 5 block, but strike would gain 4 block. So I think we just bullet time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, also bullet time would totally kill with strength potion or explosive potion. But so we could use a potion to block for 6, or which if we get a potion here is free potion slot, or we could just save it. Preference?
I guess I'd probably want to save that particular potion for a hallway fight that'd be like more value. Like the birds. I hate those birds.
Yeah, okay. I respect that. We did not get a potion, so you were retroactively right.
Nice.
These two, I'm just going to say, it's very rare that you take them. It's not that they're not good, but the thing about the discard synergy package is all of the discard synergy package are good if you already have the discard synergy package. The issue is that one of them has to be the first card, and the first card is not good. So if you already have like 2 copies of Dagger Throw and Survivor and like a Calculated Gamble, which is a discard card that's actually very good on its own, then Reflex, Sneaky Strike may be good. You don't start with these. So Dodge and Roll can be good. Footwork, I think it's time for Footwork.
I'm down. I love me some Footwork.
Events are nice. Orichalcum, big respect.
Okay. Yeah, no, that seems very useful.
It's nice because, like, then you can just do other things. It does have a bit of a negative synergy with Ornamental Fan, because a lot of times if you're playing Orichalcum is like, oh, I can just attack this turn, whereas Ornamental Fan is like, oops, I gave you 2 less block.
Yeah.
But it's still good. Okay, we can heal for 6, or we can choose from 20 cards.
I don't know. This one's kind of hard.
Here's the thing.
Hard choice.
If your health goes to 0, if you run out of HP, you die.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Maybe we need that for health. It could come up.
I'm terrified I will accidentally click it as part of the joke. Let's read.
No, let's definitely get read. Hey, Calculated Gamble.
Yeah. Hey, it heard us talking about it. So, Predator is amazing. Like, one of the best silent cards for Act 1, by the way. It's less relevant now, but still good. So what does our deck need? We're not seeing any rare cards. We're not seeing any, like... I'm not seeing any super high profile uncommons. It's just like, oh, if I saw a Footwork, I would take it.
Yeah.
We did take a Corpse Explosion, but the thing about Corpse Explosion... It is a poison card, but it's also just an AoE status effect.
Right.
So, I'm going to say cards that are interesting here. Predator is card draw. Piercing Whale is one of the best defensive cards Silent has.
Yeah, that was so good.
I don't think we need another Dagger Spray. So, Acrobatics or Calculated Gamble are both card draw. Calculated Gamble does work with Bullet Time on 3 energy if we draw into Bullet Time. I don't think we need Weak. Finisher would be good with Ornamental Fan if we had a deck that took more advantage of Ornamental Fan and Vajra. We don't. Riddle with Holes is basically already upgraded because of Vajra. So, you know, it scales with Strength 5 times. Deflect is better if we have a lot of card draw. We don't have any card draw yet. So I'm going to say the interesting cards I see here are those. Maybe Acrobatics for card draw if I didn't mention it. But so those are some highlights for me. What stands out for you?
I would say probably Calculated Gamble, especially after you mentioned the fact that like it works with Bullet Time, which is kind of a nice side effect, is that card draw and Bullet Time is kind of a difficult thing to work around.
Yeah, Acrobatics Bullet Time is incredible if we either get a 4th energy or upgrade Bullet Time.
Right.
But we haven't done either of those, and is Bullet Time our highest priority upgrade? Is it our highest priority upgrade like several floors from now? I don't know.
Yeah.
That said, Acrobatics is good. We have we don't have a super low cost or super high cost deck. But usually we would rather have Backflip than Acrobatics, I'll say that. No Backflip here.
And I guess like I was kind of just thinking about Poison in general just because of Corpse Explosion, but I think since you didn't mention it, I guess it's not really a priority to have additional Poison in the deck. So
I talked about how Act 1 you're just trying to add like damage commons to your deck basically. Just like simple like 1 or 2 energy cards that basically just do some damage. Like Dagger Throw, Dagger Spray, Dagger Punch, Dagger Stab. Like these are all just These are all just Strike Plus, right?
Right.
We kind of have Strike Plus covered. We might take Deadly Poison if we didn't have any other way to kill Guardian, but one thing I will say is Corpse Explosion is 50 damage to, not Guardian, Clockwork Automaton, if we get it on one of the little ones.
Uh-huh.
And that's a significant portion of its health. These are interesting, but I don't think they're that critical. I might take a Bouncing Flask.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, I guess Calculated Gamble is really what's standing out to me.
Yeah. I think for me, after Extra Thought, it comes down to Piercing Wail, Calculated Gamble, and Riddle with Holes.
Uh-huh.
So Riddle with Holes is, my thinking is 20 damage, bullet time synergy. Piercing Wail is very good scaling block, or scaling mitigation, and Calculated Gamble is just card manipulation, which we don't have any of.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I guess now I'm thinking between Piercing Wail and I forgot about Piercing Wail, and like that one is really very functional.
Yeah. Piercing Wail is incredible. It's one of the best cards. We are really good against area of effect fights, and this boss doesn't. It is an area of effect fight. So Piercing Wail is very good. Calculated Gamble is versatile.
Mm-hmm.
Your call.
I guess I'm leaning Piercing Wail at the moment.
Piercing Wail is actually about an insect-controlling teenage girl. Did you know that about Piercing Wail?
I really didn't, but it's nice to know the library has that information on hand.
We've gone to a couple events that aren't the really good ones. That has bettered our odds. Okay, we can spend gold for a relic, or we can get a curse for a relic. We are about to go to a shop, so we could spend that gold on card remove, but also we could keep a curse and do something else. I don't know. It's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Yeah. What does Shame do again?
At the end of your turn, gain 1 frail. Also, costs you a draw.
Yeah.
Honestly, costing you a draw is one of the worst things that curses do.
Yeah, and honestly, since we don't have much card control right now, I guess I'd rather just save a little gold and not have to deal with removal and just spend it now. Like 85 gold, right? It would still be less than removing a curse from the shop, right?
We've already removed a strike, so the cost has gone up. So, yeah, I think 85 gold is actually just the best choice.
Okay.
Torai is great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Torai has very good synergy with Piercing Wail. Because then you don't... So Torai has very good synergy with Piercing Wail and Orichalcum, because then you just play Piercing Wail, and then you just play, like, I don't know, powers, poison cards, whatever, and, like, you're just not going to take much damage.
Yeah. And now the birds are just, like, a non-problem.
Yeah. Okay, we could get another Footwork, we could get a Piercing Wail. I don't think the rest of these are that exciting. I don't think we need... We have full potions, and I don't think we need one. So, Footwork, Piercing Wail, pass.
I guess I'm leaning towards another Footwork.
I like another Footwork. Piercing Wail is great, and it helps a lot to have one. Like, there's a lot of cards that you really need them for a specific situation, but you don't need your whole deck to be built around that specific situation. You just need to have it when you need it.
Yeah.
If we want to fight 3 elites, we can do it here after campfires. And
yeah, I agree.
If we wanted events more than 2 events, more than 3 campfires and 2 elites, I don't know. I think this is a good path. If we had more card draw, I would upgrade bullet time, but it is just quick slash. So for me, it's either footwork, leg sweep, piercing wail, potentially corpse explosion just as scaling damage. Honorable mention for neutralize, which is just default always a good upgrade.
Yeah. I used to always like prioritize neutralize as like my first upgrade.
I mean, it's good unless you have something better.
Yeah, yeah. I guess like I'm leaning towards getting an upgraded footwork.
Yeah, I think like leg sweep is a little more front loaded block. Footwork is scaling block. I think with Orichalcum, Torai, Piercing Whale, and like a regular leg sweep, I think we're doing okay on front loaded block.
Mm-hmm.
Like right here, like we just Piercing Whale and it goes away. Okay, so we always Masterful Stab and Neutralize. Let's get those out of the way. I think Crippling Cloud is strictly better than Corpse Explosion here. And I think we definitely...
I'd agree,
We're not playing Strike, so we're definitely playing Crippling Cloud. So we could play Strike to block for 4, but that's worse than Orichalcum. So
yeah,
I
definitely.
think the thing is, Piercing Whale could be really good later in this fight, or we could just try and not need it later in this fight.
Is that because like he increases in strength over the...
And it starts doing bigger multi-attacks, so like one of the scary attacks on like turn 5 or 6 or whatever is like a ×5 attack, and then it goes into like ×6 attacks, ×7 attacks. Honestly, if it starts getting to that point, you fucked up.
Yeah, I've definitely gotten to that point many a time.
Yeah, also worth mentioning, if we don't play Piercing Whale, we take 1 damage.
Okay. I would say maybe save Piercing Whale at this point.
We have also already played Masterful Stab, which is relevant.
Yeah.
So it's either 13 poison and just try and burst it down, or just Dexterity and Strike.
I guess Dexterity and Strike sounds pretty nice. Makes ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just a matter of like how good do we think we are at defending against this thing? How much do we think we need to just rush it down? The other nice thing is with Torai, we don't have to block at all, as long as it's doing 5 or less damage per attack.
Totally.
Because this is basically just you are intangible.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
so
it's either...
Probably just skewer them?
Yeah, well, if we want to skewer, these two do more damage than 1 energy worth of skewer. So, like, if we like skewer, then 13 damage is better than 11 for 1 energy, so we do Quick Slash.
Sure.
So, we could block with bullet time, or we could just hurt it much.
I think, yeah, this would be a good hurting turn, since it's, like, available.
Okay.
And we're still not taking that much damage.
This blocks for 4 instead of 6, however, it is the same amount of damage. This would have been a good fight to consider Strength Potion, but I think Tora is gonna help us out here. So let's Heal Hook. Okay, we're blocking. Simple turn.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh man. So I think on higher difficulty this might be the 7x5 turn. I don't know. We always
already.
we're always doing that. So then it's a matter of which of the other two. Our deck is empty, so who knows what we get.
Probably block this turn, I'd say.
Alright, worth mentioning that if we footwork or not is a difference of... If we footwork or strike actually blocks more than footwork this turn.
Okay.
And the goal is for them not to be that many turns.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
And we're good to go.
Alright. Lantern. Lantern can be kind of meh on some characters. Or like good later, but meh earlier. Lantern is always good on Silent because Ring of the Snake, baby.
Oh, let's go.
I like Dex Potion better than Explosive Potion. I don't think we're scared of AoE fights with Die, and Dagger Spray, and Piercing Whale, and Corpse Explosion.
I'd agree.
And Crippling Cloud. Oh, another thought we don't have about not taking Calculated Gamble is, in the short term, we have Calculated Gamble.
True Gambler's Brew, right.
Okay.
And hey, another Calculated Gamble if you want.
This is interesting. Sucker Punch, we don't need it anymore. Tactician,
yeah.
nah. So it's
Not a
between
disc.
1,000 cuts, which is more, a little kind of scaling AoE damage, or calculated gamble.
Probably calculated gamble here.
We have cards that do this better.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
this could deal 1 damage over the course of a fight. Maybe like a boss fight, this does like 30 damage to all enemies for 2 energy. You know what else? You know what else does 30 damage to all enemies for 2 energy? Basically, dagger spray plus die.
Nice.
Preference?
Let's see. I guess maybe piercing whale this time, since we already have an upgraded footwork. But
I think that's reasonable. Yeah. I like campfire better than hallway fight.
agreed.
Horn cleat, good.
Oh, I love horn cleat. Such a nice relic.
Look at our defensive relics, like ornamental fan, orichalcum, tori, horncleat. Like, these are some really high tier defensive relics. Honorable mention to Pear, which is trying.
Let's go Pear.
All right.
He's doing his best.
Upgrade 2. Do you want to footwork? Do you want to calculated gamble multiple times? Do you want to scale a little harder for damage scaling?
I guess I'm not feeling like we need to prioritize the other footwork right now. I probably either calculated gamble or corpse explosion would be my sense.
Okay. So yeah, I think calculated gamble could be good.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about this bronze automaton fight, right? So bronze automaton, I don't think we're going to have trouble getting past the first part of the fight. I don't think we're going to have trouble killing the 2 little ones and getting our stolen cards back. We got a ton of AoE damage. We just have to deal 300 damage to this big enemy with 3 artifact charges.
Right.
And we have to either kill it before Hyper Beam or deal with Hyper Beam. I think, and then after that it alternates between big attacks and do nothing. Corpse Explosion could help us try and, like, rush down that big health bar faster. But also, like, just casting it on the little ones does a lot for that. Footwork could help it. So I think Footwork either helps us, like, survive the big attacks longer, or Calculated Gamble helps us block on the attacking turns and attack on the do-nothing turns.
Yeah, I definitely like the sense of, like, calculated gamble, just sort of smoothing out our probability in a favorable way.
Let's go with that. Leg Sweep is also a good upgrade here. It's just, like, it's a really high-quality upgrade. It's just outclassed.
Mm-hmm.
So Crippling Cloud, Heal Hook is... And Piercing Whale Plus. If we Piercing Whale Plus, we take maximum... What, like, 2 damage?
Right.
So I think this is a turn for just Crippling Cloud, Corpse Explosion, probably Piercing Whale, but let's see what... I think we Crippling Cloud, Heal Hook, yeah?
That sounds good.
So if we do Corpse Explosion on this one, 48 plus 7 will not quite kill that. But also, if we kill this faster, it Corpse Explosion sooner. Pro tip, the Backslaver is the priority target, because it makes you vulnerable on, like, turn 2 or 3, and it can also do the Entangled attack, or Entangled debuff that prevents you from playing attacks. This one, I think it makes you weak, and this one, it adds wounds to your deck, but vulnerable is the biggest problem when there's 3 of them.
Right. That makes sense.
Honorable mention to Entangled, because it fucking sucks. And Piercing Whale. Let's take... Oh, yeah. I forgot how good Piercing Whale plus weak is. We don't take any.
Very nice.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm fine with this. I didn't ask your opinion on this turn. I hope that's okay.
No, it's fine. It just like you're dealing damage.
It's like they're already dead.
Yeah.
Pro tip, Whetstone is good, but you check your card reward first.
Ah, right.
Because you might add an attack that you want to upgrade. So dodge and roll is really good with dexterity. Backflip is really good with backflip.
Yeah.
Specifically also backflip and bullet time, backflip and footwork. These are both really high priority adds to our deck. Your call.
Probably in this case, I'm feeling a backflip just to. I don't know. I feel like we're kind of at a nice place where a little more card draw would be helpful.
I agree. We don't have card draw. Let's do take Whetstone. Strike plus. That's fine. I think against Automaton, some enemies deal like semi-dangerous attacks every turn. This one deals a really big attack once, and I think Speed Potion.
No, that makes sense, yeah.
I think we keep Strength Potion to help kill it faster. And do you want an upgrade or a shop? We have 130 gold. Or an elite. So relic, upgrade, variety.
Maybe, I don't know. I kind of feel another elite, honestly.
70 health.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good turn.
You know what? I'll save that one. I think we're just bursting it down at this point, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I think Corpse Explosion is good, but I think we can do better than Strike. We cannot do better than Strike. I apologize for not consulting you. Also, Strike would have been pretty good lethal. Yeah, okay.
I think he's dead, right?
Yeah. We don't have any cards or relic in our deck that care how we end a fight, which is makes things easier. Power Potion. I think Power Potion gives us more scaling than Strength Potion against Clockwork Automaton, but Strength Potion helps us kill the little ones faster. Or we could ditch Gambler's Brew. Let's see what our card is.
I feel like... Yeah.
Our card is Piercing Whale.
I'd say probably ditching Gambler's Brew at this point, since we have that in our deck. I mean, it is nice to have it out of our deck too, but...
Yeah, I agree. No, we don't need two of them. So we have another Piercing Whale here.
Yeah, I mean, nothing else seems interesting, really.
Torai, a bunch of Sources of Weak,
yeah.
Piercing Whale. It's hard to have too many copies of Piercing Whale. Also, what's up, Book of Stabbing? I'd like to teach you about my religion, Piercing Whale. It does actually deal damage to us if we don't make it weak. That's awkward. So we've got some good cards here. We could also just reroll. We could also do a mix.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess, like, I'm kind of... I don't know. I could go really either way as well. Like, it's kind of nice to play Die right now, but...
Honestly, like, we're at 70 health. Our deck is good. Why don't you just pilot this one?
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I guess go ahead and play Die. And... So 4 energy... Let's see... And... Torai... Lots to think about. No, but let's go ahead and do Dagger Spray as well. I figure that's pretty efficient. And let's calculate gamble the rest, I think. See what happens. Okay. I still have 3. Maybe backflip here. That's kind of what I'm thinking. To just Crippling Cloud, which is nice. But yeah, definitely Masterful Stab and then Crippling Cloud. Yeah,
zero cost cards with no downside and no effect. I hope you don't mind.
Totally. Bullet time. Well, we've got Skewer, so.
Would we rather give 2 more weak or deal 22 more damage?
Yeah, no, definitely 22 more damage, and we've got the defense this turn with no, that relic. Horn cleat.
Yep.
Do one. Well, neutralize seems pretty free. And piercing whale also seems like a very good option. Dexterity, probably.
Yeah, I mean we have 4 cards and 4 energy.
Oh yeah, it'll play everything. I'm so used to like mana blocking myself.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Well, Slaver's Collar is messing up how we're used to piloting this deck, because it usually has 3 energy. Piercing Whale is here when we want it.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think this would be the 7x5 maybe.
Gotcha.
Because this is such... Yeah, I think it does like the big like 21 attack and then does this.
Yeah, I guess might as well play everything again, Survivor last, just so that we don't have to discard. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have well-laid plans. We don't have pretty much any card that cares how we end a turn.
Yeah, let's just do it.
Nunchaku is a nice synergy. If we had Ornamental Fan... So Ornamental Fan and Nunchaku play nice together. We don't have a deck built around it, but we have a deck that works.
Mm-hmm.
Infinite Blades does synergize with both of those.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely looks like the best thing available.
I mean, it doesn't scale, and it's bad against Time Eater. Well, it's small scaling damage. We don't have Shuriken or whatever, but it is kind of... It's a little bit of block, it's a little bit of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Another Calculated Gamble is fine, but honestly, like... At this point, our deck is not super high cost. I would rather have just a card that draws cards than a card that, like, reduces my hand size.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't have a deck full of very specific answers. So it's Infinite Blades or skip for me.
Honestly, I don't know. The value of Infinite Blades doesn't seem like that exciting to me.
Yeah.
Especially since we don't have like stuff built around it already.
Yeah. I respect that, yeah. Infinite Blades is great, Act 1. It would, if we didn't have these relics, I would not consider it. With an upgrade and with the 2 relics, it's worth thinking about, but I respect ditching it.
Mm.
Also, that Shiv can eat a Warped Tongues upgrade, which, you know, it's free damage, but depending how long the fight goes, we might or might not wish it had hit something else.
Yeah. That's fair. I didn't think about that either. That too.
I think Fire Potion helps take out those little ones. Better than Strength Potion. But Strength Potion helps us kill the big one. Fire Potion does have some play with Corpse Explosion for just getting it going.
Right.
Preference?
Are
you more scared of the big one or the little ones?
I guess I'm probably more scared of the big one. So I think Strength sounds kind of nice.
Fair enough. Alright.
But, yeah.
Yeah, so forget this stuff.
Don't need it.
And shopping time.
Shop.
Alright, we've got a lot of interesting choices here. What's standing out to you?
Another black backflip kind of is a good thing to have.
Yeah.
I don't know what those 2 relics do just off the top of my head. Bag of Marbles. Oh, okay. That could be useful.
So that has some synergy with, like, Lantern, Vajra, stuff like that. So that's good for just... It's great for hallway fights. It's good for turning... Well, killing enemies quickly.
Mm.
Frozen Eye is the best relic in the game that I will never take.
When viewing your draw pile, cards are now shown. Oh my god.
Like, if
That's
if I have Frozen Eye, I will occasionally take a peek at what I'm getting next turn. But
Yeah.
Frozen Eye, like, the gap between, like, what I'm doing and what I know I should be doing just destroys me. So
Yeah, no, it's like that's like some spreadsheet level stuff of like having to like plan out.
yeah, so card remove is okay. I mean, card
Yeah.
remove is always nice. I think footwork plus backflip is just like always reliable, or vulnerable just helps us blast some things down.
Mm. I
So-
kind of like footwork and backflip. That does sound kind of nice, just because like card draw. and backflip, and yeah, dexterity is always good.
All right. How much do you like footwork? How many footworks do we have?
We have three now.
Okay. I mean, here's the thing. Like, more dexterity is never bad. Like, footwork is never a bad upgrade.
Yeah.
Backflip is not an interesting upgrade, frankly.
Yeah, it doesn't get more card draw.
That's called Defend Plus. So, leg sweep and neutralize are extra weak. Footwork is really good. Corpse explosion is scaling. Bullet time lets us draw more cards before we play it.
That kind of sounds. I don't know. I feel like maybe our deck is at a place where that could be warranted.
So we have 1, 2, 3 like card draw cards. Oh wait, sorry. We have 1, 2, 3 and a half card draw cards. But these each draw 2, which is very good. I'll tell you another secret. We're on Ascension 1. I think our deck can beat the Heart on Ascension 1.
Totally. I do like kind of thinking about it in terms of like any Ascension level, though. I do appreciate that of like a slight
absolutely
kind of value. I
deck,
guess like
go ahead.
my gut is bullet time, but what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say. Also, the nice thing about Ascension 1 is you can just take riskier choices.
Yeah,
because like you can take Catalyst in Act 1 with no poison cards and not die.
Yeah, I love like trying to force a deck to happen where I'm like, I'm gonna get poison. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna multiply this and what is that rare power that like plays a skill twice? That's like the silent one.
It is a skill. It is burst. Burst can be really good, but forcing burst can be questionable. Yeah. So you're feeling bullet time, right?
Yeah, I'm feeling bullet time.
The nice thing about bullet time is now we can backflip bullet time in hallway fights, even if we don't get energy relic.
Gotcha.
You want to pop some potions or save them or what?
At
a certain point, the question becomes save them for what?
Yeah, I think popping some potions would be kind of a fun thing.
And I don't think any of these are potions that were like, ooh, that's really good against the Heart or the Act 3 boss or whatever.
Yeah, and we'll get more potions, so like, yeah, I think why not pop at least the power and the strength.
Okay, Noxious Fumes and Envenom are both really good. I think so. Noxious Fumes is AoE. Envenom is good with multi-attacks. It's good with Skewer, Dagger Spray. The question is, do we think we play more than... do we deal attack damage more than twice per turn? Also, Wraith Form we could just have in our deck, but we don't have any way to retain it. Wraith Form is, like, the best silent card.
Right.
So I'm not knocking it, but in terms of, like, things to play for 0 this turn, maybe these keep us from needing Wraith Form. Also, we have 3 footworks and backflips and weak, so I'm not actually super worried about Hyper Beam.
Yeah. I guess I'm feeling probably Envenom. I think we'll probably play like somewhere between 2 and 3 attacks a turn.
Fair enough.
I'm not sure, but
yeah, it's close. Envenom has more upside, so I'm thinking footwork, and we could strike to remove an artifact, but we could also calculated gamble and make a calculated gamble for better.
Yeah, it seems like a good turn to just calculate gamble a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Do you want strength this fight? Or do you think Envenom is enough?
I think we're probably good. I think we could probably save strength for later.
Alright, artifact charge is gone, which is really nice. If we get... So now we can finally do weak or piercing wail.
Hell yeah.
We are already fully blocked, so I say we probably draw a card here, right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Go for the weak one. Okay, this is actually a choice. It's been a while since we've had one of those.
What? Our deck doesn't just autopilot itself? I'm so
Okay, so this is not a choice. So this is the choice.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I guess I'm honestly feeling doing Crippling Cloud now. I feel like we've got a decent amount of block.
I agree. We have 5 dexterity. So,
yeah.
by the way, these things prioritize the rarest card left in your deck.
Oh.
So if you have rares in your deck, they'll take them, then uncommons, then commons, then if you literally have just like strike and defend, that's last. I guess they would, if you had only a curse, they would probably take it. Has not happened.
Time to test it. Only curse deck.
I would like to draw a heel hook there. I'd like another backflip maybe. I mean, we always dagger spray, but we don't have energy, so we're always going to draw cards.
Hey.
Okay. So we could not quite kill that one. This one has die. This one has corpse explosion. Actually, we want corpse explosion. Because we want to play corpse explosion on this one next turn. So actually, I should have been attacking this one. Do you mind taking 1 damage for that dream of 50 damage to the boss?
No.
Oh, wait, right. Ornamental fan. Okay. So now we can play Corpse Explosion for sure this turn. And Corpse Explosion is not going to be in our next deck, which is nice because you don't want it anymore. We can fully block, so... I think it's probably just a leg sweep here, yeah?
Yeah, sounds good.
Footwork Plus, it's not that you're a bad card. You rule. It's just, have you seen the rest of our deck?
I dream of decks where I have like 3 Footwork Pluses, and I'm like, no, I don't want to play the 3rd one.
Thanks, Nunchaki, for an extra skewer. And also skewer is good with Envenom. Alright, Hyper Beam time. So we can block for 36. Honestly, we ain't gonna die here.
No. There's no wrong answers.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? I do want to do some nunchakuing. Whoops. Okay, could have done some extra. Gotten that slightly higher, but we'll get it to 7.
Oh, that's something that I haven't ever thought about, is like how to maximize the like like fight relics.
So if this was at 9, it actually would have been correct to just pass and let the poison kill it, because on this difficulty level, health doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When does health start to like do the percentage increase versus full heal?
I think it's somewhere around like Ascension, like 10 or so.
I see.
Okay, Adrenaline is good.
Yeah.
Bullet time, honestly, bullet time, we have a bullet time. Has it done anything for us?
Not as much recently. It did stuff earlier in the game.
We don't have a lot of card draw. We don't have a lot of expensive cards. I don't care about bullet time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Do you want to draw? Do you want to have a net benefit of 1 card on like turn 4, or now? So Wraith form is incredible, and you almost always take a Wraith form. But honorable mention to Adrenaline here.
Okay, no, I'd love to play with Wraith form because I avoid it because I don't know how to use it.
So Wraith form is like bias cognition for defect, where, oh, a really strong benefit right now, but 6 turns from now, I'll have a downside. And the answer is, yeah, but you take this card so that so that the fight is over.
You don't have to go for 6 more turns. Hey, Dark Black Star.
Yeah, so Wrist Blade is a meme, and
That's
we
really
we don't have a deck for it. Shiv decks. So Shiv decks can have great success at low ascensions, and they just don't at high difficulties, specifically because of Time Eater and the Heart. Not saying you can't win with a Shiv deck, but that it will be because you got offered the best possible Shiv deck options and went with it.
I do want to make a goofy Shiv deck again someday.
Guess what? At this difficulty, you can even force a Shiv deck. Would recommend, but we don't have any. This is just Masterful Stab.
Yeah.
You know what else we could do to make Masterful Stab do 4 additional damage? Oh, we already upgraded it. Never mind. So Masterful Stab neutrals. So Black Star is okay as an Act 1 reward if you don't mind dying immediately.
Yeah, it's like rolling for it, and maybe you can get it to work.
It's Act 2, so this is half as good as it would have been last act. Fusion Hammer, Warped Tongs.
I mean, we've got Warped Tongs.
Fusion Hammer, Warped Tongs. So sometimes there's just, I think, just a good option.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard to turn down. We don't need to smith anymore, you know?
I don't know why. It does not feel like we have gotten very much gold at all this run. I'm not really sure why, but we have very rarely had much of it. And I don't feel like we've been going to a lot of shops. I don't know. So, let's see. Events. Elites. Fires. Fires are pretty low value for us right now, because we only need to go to them to heal or recall once. And, like, have you seen us needing to heal?
No, not ever.
Okay, so there's elites, mutually exclusive elites here. This elite can go to there. So we do a lot of elites, or we could do a lot of question marks. If we want to do elites, we could still start with a lot of question marks. 3 question marks and a campfire, or 3 question marks and an elite. What do you like?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's like kind of like, at this point, any additional relics are just kind of padding. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be good to have more relics, but like, I guess I don't feel as much of a priority about them. I think, as you said, like, isn't there kind of like a mix of like really good and just not so great question marks in Act 3?
Act 3 has some really good shit.
Yeah. Let's do some question marks, I think.
Okay.
That could be a fun route.
Our boss is going to be Donu Deka. So we want to think about what like strategy will beat Donu Deka. And, oh, okay, solved it.
Oh my god.
So,
that is like the perfect Donu Deka answer.
So we just need to deal 250 damage once. Or whatever it is on whatever their health is here. Yeah, they're all about the same.
Yeah.
Let's start from the front. 21. Okay, we do actually block a little bit here, and I do not think we're going to draw through our deck again on this fight.
Right.
I think if we get Corpse Explosion, we just wrap this up. Die is good. And with Nunchaku, we get all these. So let's set that up for a good Corpse Explosion. None of them are blocking, which is very friendly. Oh. Did I not do the math? Well, we played all our cards, so we did what we could. Thanks, Tori. I think we draw for Corpse Explosion.
Yeah, I agree. That would just solve everything. Oh. Try it.
Here's the thing. We've got draw and Crippling Cloud and draw and Piercing Wail and Corpse Explosion. Like, we have so many answers to kill to deal with all of them at once that I kind of don't want to have to, like, split them up over multiple turns.
Yeah, so just wait. That makes a lot of sense.
Like, if we have... Either we get Corpse Explosion, or we get Crippling Cloud plus Piercing Wail, or, like, we just...
We get both.
Got a least favorite?
Let's do the one on the left. He's not armored up. What's his deal?
Yeah, I feel disrespected, honestly. Blade Dance is... Now it's 3 shivs that also gain 4 block. Is that good? Still no.
Still no.
It's Crippling Cloud, Piercing Wail, or Skip. Flechettes is... I've not often found a situation where I was like, oh yes, Flechettes is what I need. Like, maybe in Act 1.
I mean, what do you think? Do you think we would need another Crippling Cloud? Or, I mean, as you said, like, you can't hurt to have more Piercing Wails.
You can't have too many Piercing Wails. I will say, these have multiple artifact charges, and that is one consideration for Crippling Cloud.
Right. Yeah, I guess definitely. I think in that case, yeah, Piercing Wail sounds pretty nice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait.
So this removes multiple artifact charges, but...
I see.
Dono and Deka also multi-attack every turn.
Gotcha.
And we have Torai, so like...
No, let's definitely do Crippling Cloud then.
Basically, Crippling Cloud is just scaling damage that we don't currently have. Piercing Wail is great defense, but honestly, our defense is so strong and we don't have scaling damage.
That's fair, yeah.
Tesseract. 1, 2, or 3?
I mean, 3, right? Like...
I mean, colorless cards don't tend to be good, but our HP seems useless. Apotheosis is... Like, you don't usually buy it from a shop because it's super expensive, but for here you might consider it. Blind can be interesting. Yeah. The other two, nah, but let's see what else we got. Finesse is good with a ton of footwork. We have a lot of footwork, so this is all of a sudden like gain 10 block to our 1 card for 0 energy. So that's a thought. And Secret Technique is just tutor 1. If we were fighting... Oh, whoops, I tabbed out. That was the wrong thing. I wanted to go to the map. I tried to tab out. I thought Slay the Spire was my whole computer.
It's not?
Well, I'm tabbed out. It's still recording. I'm just paranoid always. Also, hey YouTube, I kind of forgot I wasn't just hanging out with Radiokie here.
It's just a comfy session.
Yeah, I got some friends who might even watch a multi-hour Slay the Spire video.
Let's go. I mean, I'll definitely... If you have other Slay the Spire collabs, I'll definitely watch them.
Oh, heck yeah. So, on Ascension 20, each difficulty level adds a new thing. Ascension 20's new fun thing is, it only makes 1 change. It only affects 1 thing in the entire run. So like, Ascension 20, highest difficulty level, it only matters in 1 single room. And that is this room. After you beat the boss, then you fight another boss.
Immediately before anything happens?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, at this Ascension level, I can confidently say we are not going to fight Time Eater. Whereas at Ascension 20, I would say we have a 50-50 of fighting Time Eater. But
Time Eater's like the worst of the 2, right? Like of the floor 3.
So
generally.
So each of the Act 3 bosses is designed to test your deck for a specific thing. So
right.
Time Eater tests like, is your deck dependent on playing a lot of cards? Like, are you able to generate value like while controlling how many cards you play per turn? Awakened one is your deck like over-reliant on powers? Because if it is, every time you play a power, I'm just going to get buff and multi-attack you to death. And Donu Deku is, they scale every turn. Can you scale your damage and your defense fast enough to kill these before they kill you? So one of them tests, like, are you playing too many cards? One of them tests, are you playing too many powers? One of them tests, is your deck just generically strong?
Makes sense. Which
is kind of cool design-wise. But
yeah, that is clever.
We're not fighting Time Eater. Secret Technique does take a little damage against the heart, but I think it's good. Because we might want bullet time, we might want backflip. I think there's a lot of skills we might really want at a specific time. So I think all of these have things we want, maybe.
Definitely Secret Technique, definitely Finesse sounds really good.
Finesse with no dexterity against the heart is just 0 energy, gain 2 block, take 2 damage. Cool. But gain 10 block, take 2 damage. I'm more interested.
Yeah.
So Secret Weapon along with like Chrysalis and Panache and other things. This is an example of a colorless rare card that is absolutely useless as a whale bonus. Apotheosis is good, but I will say, I think all of the cards we really want to upgrade, we've already upgraded. It's just 2 Footworks and a Wraith form that I'm really like, that would be hype.
Yeah. I guess Apotheosis.
Do I want to give up a card draw and 2 energy for that? And the answer is maybe, because it is also kind of like a Footwork, right? Like all of our defensive cards, none of these are upgraded. So Apotheosis is also kind of a Footwork plus because it gives a 3 extra block to every one of these. I'm talking myself into Apotheosis.
No, I'm convinced. Like,
yeah,
I think it's not too much weight added to our deck.
Honorable mention to Blind, but Apotheosis, especially because we could tutor it with the other colorless we just picked. And we got Watcher Thing. By the way, do you know who the peer that stopped reporting on their assignment is?
No.
It's Time Eater. Because when you fight Time Eater with any other character, it's like, hello, company, something I don't remember. But when you, at the start of the fight with Watcher, it just says, never liked you.
It's so funny.
I mean, Defend is 1 energy block 20 at this point. Footwork Plus is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Heel Hook.
I'm sorry, Ornamental fan. It's not... You're not our deck anymore.
You had your time.
Okay, both of these we could do. This path I don't think is compelling. This path we could do. Wait, we can't upgrade campfires. So we could do 2 elites. We could get the same amount of events either way. We could get more campfires or more elites this way. I think this is...
I agree, yeah.
And this is one of the events you want.
Oh, okay.
So, I like to read
this one. Yes.
Yeah. So this is gonna be like what, the 6th video for the channel. So I haven't read this event yet. So Mind Bloom. While walking and traversing through the chaos of the Spire, your thoughts suddenly begin to feel very real. Imaginings of monsters and riches begin to manifest themselves into reality. The sensation is quickly fleeting. What do you do? I am war. I am awake. I am rich. There's also I am, I think, healthy or something if you're low on health. So, I am awake is the dream, and it's a risk. I am rich is the dream, and it's a risk. I am war is like your default, option.
Yeah.
But if you can afford to take either of these, they're incredible. I will say, we're only going shopping at maximum, okay, so we got a shop here. We got a shop in Act 4. Like, a question mark could be a shop, but
yeah.
Normality is really bad. Normality is really bad, and $9.99 gold, like, we don't have... That's not helpful for, like, 10 floors. Yeah, we're on 38, and this is 50, so, yeah, 9 floors. So it just makes us really bad for 9 floors, and maybe we get some relics afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have to say about I Am Rich. I Am Awake is a big risk. It does make our Apotheosis kind of a waste, but also if you play Apotheosis for free, like, are you crying?
Yeah. No, I think I'm Awake would be the exciting one, especially with the amount of health we have currently.
Yeah, it's 69. Nice. You know what?
Keep it a full run.
I don't often get to take I Am Awake. Another thing to think about is we don't have anything else to do at campfires except recall once, so if we take I Am Awake, campfires are a complete waste. But also, this run is... Let's look at it a different way. Our deck is pretty strong. What if we just added a challenge?
Oh, I'm down.
If we heal, I feel confident that we can win. If we upgrade all cards... Everything makes sense now. The lack of memories, the ascent, the ancient one. This is the way it always was. This is the way it always will be. All will be forgotten again soon.
Hell yeah.
So, now, Tora is less valuable because we have to keep the sex number.
Yep.
Okay. So we're being attacked for 18. So one of these blocks for 8. If we do footwork, 2 of them full block, or if we footwork, one of them blocks 14. We got a full block with...
Yeah.
Like, why did we take I Am Awake if we're not going to keep the sex number? So I think it's
hard agree.
I think it's defend, Corpse Explosion.
Yeah, sounds good.
And where do you like the Corpse Explosion?
Oh, probably on just the one with the most, so if, yeah, like one of the thorn ones, so that it kills the others.
Yeah.
Like,
not only does that like kill everything if we can kill it, also the thorn ones are really annoying to attack.
yeah.
Okay, that's the fight. Let me see. Dealing 11 damage once is not gonna hurt us very much. No. So, pro tip, so Guardian has a similar Thorns effect. It has the same icon, I think. No, sorry, it has the Bronze Scales icon. Different icon, but the point is, they look similar, they're very similar, but Guardian, the Act 1 boss, when you play an attack, take damage. So Dagger Spray would deal damage once against this enemy. When attacked, deals 5 damage. Here, Dagger Spray deals damage to you twice.
I see.
Alright. Actually, we do have a Nunchaku, so let me just, real quick, do the responsible thing. Look, I'm good. We could get it to 8, but, like, I'm good.
We tried. Yeah.
Cultist Potion. This is a lower frequency potion. It's a rare potion, I guess. It's a good potion.
Yeah, and we got a spot for it, so easy choice.
None of these inspire me.
Yeah, agreed.
Finisher is the card the Ornamental Fan Nunchaku. I almost said Nunchuck, but Nunchaku. Shiv deck was dreaming of, but we're not there. You know what? You know what I think it is? The best, like, one of the best silent commons, and the best card for a Shiv deck is Cloak and Dagger. One energy skill, gain 6 block, add a Shiv to your hand, or upgraded 6 block, add 2 Shivs to your hand. We have not seen a single copy, even with question card. I will bet it is not unlocked.
Yeah, I love that card. That's like what inspires me to start like a Shiv deck, is when I get that early on. I'm like, okay.
Like, we have seen so many card options, I have a feeling that it's not in there. I don't see a point to 2 campfires.
Agreed.
Except that we just don't take any... If we just wanted to pass the floor and go straight to the boss, we could. But let's get some relics, baby.
Yeah, let's keep it going.
Alright, this is why we are happy to have Dagger Spray, Die, Corpse Explosion, Crippling Cloud. Like, Reptomancer is the fight that you're like, do I have area of effect damage? Right.
Yeah, this one, I'm afraid to do elites because of this fight, oftentimes, in Act 3.
I mean, you want to just get bullet time?
Yeah.
Get Apotheosis. We're gonna remove Apotheosis at the store. It's just a curse.
You hate to see it.
I mean,
but
it's, like, we could pick up something else. And do we want to... We could lose 1 dexterity every turn, but also, like, we don't have to block for 3 turns. I'm okay with not having to block for 3 turns.
yeah.
Well, 2 turns. I mean, 14 plus another 20. 34. What do you think? Is that good enough?
Yeah, no, I think probably just going in on... oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, we could strength potion, but also,
I
like...
think maybe strength potioning would be prudent.
At this point, that strength potion is old and stale, and it is nearing its, like, sell-by date. That will add a wound into our discard, I think. But also, this will add threat into our lives if it's alive, and what if we just change that? Nice. I think saving strength potion becomes slightly less... Like, we have cultist potion, so for, like, heart and stuff, like, strength potion is a little less exciting.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh no. Oh wait. Let's apotheosis. Oh no, are we gonna take damage with our mind bloom? Sex number!
We would not think of it.
I got an achievement. Plague. What is that? I don't know if the overlay shows up. I hope it doesn't show up.
No, it doesn't.
Defeat 3 enemies with poison in a single combat. Huh, I didn't even know that was an achievement. It was never one I had to try to get, because it just happened. 5. So yeah, we want to play more. I mean, look, we can make it weak for 6 turns. I'm not sure what, like, future that's relevant in. But we'll take another chance to stack up that up to 8.
Nice. Heal ticket. If only it was usable.
Is vulnerable relevant, do you think? Outmaneuver is not, by the way. If you had...
Yeah.
Okay, if you had a deck built entirely out of 2 and 3 cost cards, I would consider it outmaneuver. Or...
So, like very high mana density?
Yeah. The situations where you want outmaneuver are just like... Yeah, pretty much if just every turn, like, you have way more cards than mana to play them. And also, like, you are full of turns where you are fine this turn, but you need something next turn, and you don't need it this turn. And that wasn't the case last turn or something. Like, if you had a really tiny... Maybe you could do some sort of infinite combo where you outmaneuver to gain, like... Well, not an infinite combo. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
an exponentially... If you had a really small deck and you drew outmaneuver, like, 10 times per turn, it could be, like, an exponential infinite combo that's really slow. But also, like, if you're trying to build an... Do you want to have a 5-card deck if you don't have Nunchaku or something to, like, make it work? Just...
Yeah.
Outmaneuver is nice if it's randomly generated by a card that generates random cards.
That's a good way to put it.
Like, there are turns where you want to have outmaneuver. There just aren't games where you want to put it in your deck very often.
Right. But yeah, Terror,
Terror or Skip? Honestly?
I mean, Terror does have this nice thing of, like, we deal a bit more damage, and...
Honestly,
I don't know.
I think Terror is better than Apotheosis or Strike. I don't know if it's better than Defend or any of these other cards. Like, I'm trying to think of the turn where we're like, we drew Terror, and we don't wish we had drawn something else. Like,
right.
It's good, but all of our cards are upgraded. I think we can deal 300 damage.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. It is kind of like opportunity cost, not worth it.
It buffs all of our attacks by 50%, but with Mark of the Bloom, favorite relic, thanks. I don't know. Do you want to
No,
take,
I agree.
Do you want to take meal ticket or no handouts?
No handouts. I agree. We're just like, we don't need it. We fight elites for fun. Oh, I love this guy.
I'm sorry, we can't kill it.
Yeah, we don't have. I was thinking the same thing. We don't have the deck for it.
Okay, so we just draw as many cards as we can, and then we bullet time and deal with the rest.
The only way I could think of killing it with the silent was to like multiply poison with like catalysts. Okay.
So it's catalyst or it's like shuriken, strength gaining, shiv shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
So applying poison is a priority because that's the only thing that can block. Because poison is basically like a dodge and roll, yeah?
Yeah.
Are we gonna play 10 attacks this combat? Probably not. Let's get that number stacked up. I mean, 4 turns left. I don't know.
Yeah, hard to say.
We always play 1. It's only attacking for 25. Actually, was this a speed potion? No. We're fine. This blocks for more than Piercing Wail, so we're always playing this. Okay, it's gonna attack for 18. That blocks for 17. And, is 68 health safe? Yes, but...
It's not what we're about.
Also, it's weak, so actually Piercing Wail reduces less than normal, but, like, Oh, wait, I'm supposed to play attacks for Nunchaku. Dang it. I was gonna do the funny thing. Where everyone laughs at my amusing things. Yeah, let's get that. Let's... Yeah, I mean, keep them coming. Okay. Skewer? Neutralize will do it. Alright.
Very nice.
Look, we don't need that, but, like, we can. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I agree.
Best potion. Now we can take an unupgraded card, and there will be one turn where we draw it, and it's ready. Okay, actually...
Oh, an unupgraded maneuver.
Okay, actually...
Hey,
Acrobatics is a lot of draw. Backflip, I think, outclasses it. Like, scrying 1 versus proccing our footwork's an extra time.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Dodge and roll is also really good, and we have Blessing of the Forge. This is really good, but this is really good and funny.
How will we be able to use Blessing of the Forge if we get backflip? I agree.
Yeah.
I think it might be time for dodge and roll, yeah.
Elite fights, yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
what
I
happened?
Somehow we took a damage. I don't know. It was a sad day. I didn't want to point it out because I was like, I thought maybe. I don't know. It just happened. It's over.
But I'm 13 years old. And there's a number I like. Okay, so we like footwork. I mean, skewer with 5 energy is a lot.
Yeah.
I think we always like sweep here, right?
Yeah, I mean 3 week, so nice.
Are there any like powers or like poison we really want to get into play that are better than 42 damage? Actually, that's not very much. 10% of its health, or like try and get another footwork or corpse explosion active.
I don't know. I feel like our deck is kind of fat enough. We might just get like more strikes, or I don't know. It just doesn't seem like, I don't know how likely it would be that we'd get exactly what we want.
Pro tip: this will deal more damage. Strike is better than Skewer because, number one, every time playing these 2 strikes will make Skewer bigger. So it'll be like 10, then 11, then like 13. Also, that one's free.
Right.
So now 16 times 2. So a little more than 42 damage. And do we want to draw our favorite cards and not be able to play them? Yeah.
Yeah, not too shabby.
And we play the highest damage attack last, if it makes sense to do so. Okay, we have not dealt much damage to it. We have not gotten a lot of poison, but here's some poison. Here's some damage. Also, like, once it starts attacking for like 30 damage a turn, that's scary, but not to us.
Yeah, we have so much block.
And a Wraith form. Yikes. Hey, you want to attack this turn? Because, yikes. Well, let's get a Fork in play. See what Finesse has to offer.
Yeah, something.
I mean, we probably play this, but we draw first, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think it's... I mean, we could Wraith form, but I don't think we kill it in the next 2 turns. So, I don't think that helps us.
Hold off, yeah, that's fair.
Are these cards so bad that we just want to get rid of them? I'm not sure. I mean, 3 of them block, 4 of them block, 5 of them block, 6 of them block, and realistically, at this point, 7 of them block. I think those are fine, so let's invest in our future. I gotta admit...
Our is ready.
Yeah. I gotta admit, I would really love to see a well-laid plans. Wow, you're attacking for 22? Are you sure about that?
It's not gonna cut it.
Are you I mean, buddy. We're not gonna draw stuff that draws more stuff, so I'm just gonna play these to buff our attacks. So 16 or 12. So the higher damage one goes last. So 17. Strategy. Honestly, there could be a case for Cultist Potion in this fight if our defense wasn't so good. Because that deals like 5 more damage every turn. But the thing is, we can block for 50 pretty consistently.
It's nice to be able to say block for 50.
Yeah. Dodge and roll really helps with that. Because most of all, dodge and roll helps like smooth out our variance.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to draw cards, or do we want to apply 9 more poison with our secret technique?
Probably more poison, I guess. I don't know. That's what my gut says, but...
I mean, draw cards might help us deal more damage this turn, but you know what Corpse Explosion does? It means the rest of our deck has more backflips in it.
That's true.
Alright, and we'll save the Piercing Whale, or do we want to see if we can make that do 8 damage? Probably save it, right?
Yeah.
Actually, is Piercing Whale better than our average card at this point? I don't even know. But I don't think we're going to draw it again.
Yeah.
I mean... We've done it!
Yeah.
Alright, so we're just pumping out damage here.
Yeah.
Wraith form. Can we deal 100 damage in 2 more turns? Just... I mean, with Skewer messes up, I don't know. But we'll deal less damage over those 2 turns if we don't strike, I'll say that. I think we'd probably save this. Oh, thanks, Nunchaku. Another 15 damage. It would be nice to have, like, any form of scaling damage besides just, Corpse Explosion.
It's
like,
true, that's like our one solution.
Deadly Poison minus. I don't think we want to get rid of these cards. in our deck. I would really love Calibers. It's a rare relic that just you only lose 15 block per turn. And I think Bullet Time
that'd be awesome.
increases our damage here. Okay. We can block next turn. 37. Yeah, what else you got? We don't want to discard these.
23 block. Oh.
Are we going to discard Leg Sweep? We're going to discard Leg Sweep. What did I do wrong? I'm so sad about this.
Yeah, I don't. Somehow we took 1 damage.
It was probably when I was styling on the other one. You know.
Yeah, the Void Eater or whatever.
Okay, this is gonna sound really sad. But is this our scaling damage against the heart?
I think this is what we got.
Gang, that's not good scaling damage against the heart. That's good scaling defense against the heart, but like...
Yeah.
I'm honestly considering this.
No, I was thinking about it too. So,
also, it's... Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, so scaling damage is what you mean, like poison is scaling damage, right? Because it can increase over time, like...
Absolutely. So...
Okay.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit, for anyone who's 2 hours into the video and ready for the lecture, about the different kinds of jobs cards can do, and I'll probably talk about it again in the future, but... So, we've got damage. There are 3 types of things your cards really do, right? One of them is damage. One of them is damage mitigation. So damage is obviously damage or poison or things like that.
Right.
Or niche effects like Judgment for Watcher that sets an enemy's HP to 0 if it's below a certain threshold. Whatever, it's damage. There's one card like that. Block is mitigation, so is weak, so is strength reduction, so is intangible. But then we think about different types of damage and mitigation, right? So there's single target damage or area of effect damage, right? That's one axis to think about. You want area of effect damage, but if you have only area of effect damage, it's probably going to be less effective single target. But the thing is, if you're really good at one job, you can skip another, right? Like, if you have a deck full of, like, 90 perfected strikes that all do, like, 200 damage for 2 energy, you're going to be okay against Reptomancer. Same for, like, Piercing Wail is really great scaling mitigation, or kind of scaling, because the more attacks are coming in, the more it does. So, Footwork is a scaling card, right? It doesn't do anything right now. A lot of powers are scaling. It doesn't do anything right now, but it helps you grow stronger over time. Whereas, if we just added a bunch of, like, not even Dodge and Roll. If we just added a bunch of, like, Defend Plus to our deck, that would be front-loaded block. So, front-loaded is just a card does a lot on turn 1. So, like, Skewer, really great front-loaded damage, whereas Corpse Explosion is nice scaling damage, but really bad front-loaded damage, right? 2 energy for 9 damage once sucks, but 2 energy for 250 damage against Donu Deka, plus, like, poison, that's pretty good. Also, we took Corpse Explosion for Blessing of the Forge, by the way.
Right. So,
Wraith Form is, like, an exciting kind of scaling mitigation in that, like, it fully blocks.
Yeah.
So Die is like the peak just front-loaded area of effect damage, right? This solves Reptomancer pretty well because it does it. Whereas this is area of effect scaling damage and scaling mitigation in one card, it's also like strong enough mitigation and strong enough damage that it's a pretty decent play on turn 1 in most fights.
Right.
So that's what makes Crippling Cloud so high priority. It's pretty good at multiple jobs, and it's good enough at any of them individually to play in most situations.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the time it does several really good things at once. So that's what I mean when I say scaling. So, for example, Ornamental Fan is scaling block, right? Because we can increase it by playing more attacks, whereas Pair is pretty much just... There you go. Orichalcum is like pure front-loaded block. It's great in Act 1, and late game it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, 6 block, woo!
What are you doing that the enemy is attacking and you are not defending at all? And the answer is, oh, you're intangible, and it's just 1 block, yeah. So, that's kind of what we can talk about, right?
Yeah, no, I definitely, that helps, like... Because, like, yeah, thinking about roles and, like how a card functions in the deck is definitely something that I can utilize.
There's different jobs that you need a card to do, and different fights have different requirements, right? Some fights you can just have front-loaded damage and win on turn 1. Like the Act 1, like, bunch of slimes fight. Have you met Die, or even just Dagger Spray plus? Perfect. Whereas if you go into the Heart fight with just Die, with just 10 copies of Die in your deck, it has 750 health on this difficulty setting. Die is useless in that fight, but it's going to be in our deck because it helped us get to that fight, and it helped us take all these other scaling cards without dying to Reptomancer.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, Die is a premium Act 1 card, it's a pretty good Act 2 card, it's a pretty mediocre Act 3 card, unless you can't beat Reptomancer, in which case it's a premium Act 3 card. So, Corpse Explosion, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. And you were saying, in the case of Crippling Cloud, that it does both scaling damage and scaling damage mitigation, right? That was what was strong about it.
Scaling and area of effect.
And area of effect, right.
So, like,
does it to all enemies? Oh my god.
So, like, you can see Crippling Cloud is just doing a little bit of everything, and it's doing enough that, like, you don't complain if it only does one thing. Like, 2 energy deals 7 poison, we just took 2 energy deal 6 poison, you know? Like, it's not... You wouldn't take Corpse Explosion as a deadly poison, but, like, there are times where you don't mind playing it as one if it's already in your... It's like Outmaneuver. Do you take it for that purpose? No. Is it good when you have it? Sometimes. So, Sapphire Key. Letter Opener is why you might take Prepared in Act 1. So I said there were 3 jobs cards can do. I said damage and mitigation. You know what the third card is? The third job is?
Deck manipulation?
Exactly. So card draw is deck manipulation. Calculated gamble is pure manipulation. Right. Footwork, I mean, you could say it's scaling, but you could also call it kind of manipulation, and there isn't really a point to it saying exactly what it does. We could upgrade it. We could upgrade our other Corpse Explosion. And I mean, we're going to.
No, why not?
Uh-oh. Are we gonna take damage here?
Looks like it.
No, we're not.
Oh, nice.
Oh, also we had Ornamental Fan, so we also would have still full blocked.
I mean, do we need another backflip?
Has there been a turn in this game so far where we would have had a backflip and said, I wish it was something else?
Like, no. So yeah, I guess not.
The thing is, like, I don't know. Like, a small deck, in a game with a constructed format like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, like, a small deck is the dream. Do we want an elite or 2 events? Are these hallway fights good for us, or are they just chances to lose our non-replenishing health? Like, do we have the cards we need?
Yeah, no, I think we should go for the events at this point.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a hard Act 3 fight. It's just a normal Act 1 fight 3 times.
Yeah.
So we're always going to backflip, right? No matter what else we do.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that really helps me figure out what to do in this game, is, like, there's a lot of complicated decisions, but just narrowing down the ones that I'm making in order.
Yeah, like your stack and like what comes first.
Yeah. Wraith form, I don't think... I mean, Wraith form does probably win this fight, but Die and Dagger Spray probably win this fight better.
Yeah, I agree. I was like waiting for the die moment against these three.
We still also backflip again though, right? So let's just double check in case there's something that changes our mind. And Crippling Cloud... Is Crippling Cloud better than Dagger Spray? Probably. We always die.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 14 to all of them. Crippling Cloud is 13 to all of them if we don't kill this turn, and weak. I think that's an upside. And you want to damage the... I want to hit one of the ones that's buffing its strength. So let's get this down. 17 plus 7 plus 6 is exact lethal on that. If I could do math. Whatever. It would be 30 damage and it had 29 health. Corpse Explosion? Yes.
Oh, right. I always forget that we have that colorless card.
Let's stack our Nunchaku. I mean, we could delay a couple... I think the ideal play would be to delay a couple turns to get that up to like 8 or 9.
Totally.
Anyway.
But the speed run... Well, I guess it's kind of... Speedrunning this game has got such an interesting idea, like... Because you gotta like think like, well, do I want to take this fight longer because it could speed up a fight later? I don't know.
I have watched a seeded speedrun of this game that beats the Act 3 boss in about like 3 minutes.
Oh my god.
We have grown beyond 10 damage, I think.
Yeah. Nah.
I mean, we took Corpse Explosion for 6. I will say that.
That's true. Oh yeah, I see.
This is also card draw, but also skip is card draw.
Yeah.
On the turn that we draw Dagger Throw. I think.
No.
Poison Stab or skip. I mean, we took. On the one hand, we took Corpse Explosion to deal a little bit of poison. On the other hand, we took Corpse Explosion to deal a little bit of poison.
Yeah.
And it has an upside. I don't know. This has Ornamental Fan and it's cheaper. This is honestly 50-50 for me.
Let's take it. Why not?
It's upgraded. That helps.
Yeah. Shop and question mark, probably?
Yeah.
I guess we would have to do one more fight, but...
Yeah, so it's one extra question mark or a shop. Bearing in mind that we will get a shop next act. But
right.
But that said, 2 shops is double the choices.
Yeah, and we have like almost 400. Well, no, 350. So it's not bad at all.
I think a shop is better than. I mean, this is 3 floors that can make us stronger. This is 2, right?
Yeah.
Corpse Explosion. Okay, we do not need to Seed Potion this turn, so let's start playing. Yeah, we just do it.
Yeah.
Do we Piercing... Oh, wait. Yeah, that has 3 artifact charges, so the order is completely inconsequential. But that will cost an artifact charge. And we probably want to start killing this one, because this one has thorns. Well, it doesn't have thorns this turn, but it doesn't attack for much. This one just statuses us. This one does start attacking later.
Yeah.
So that's my priority order on that. Okay. I know you're not supposed to have... I know parents aren't supposed to pick favorites, but it's that one. Okay, so that's why that one should die. 13, 23, 30, 32 plus 4 is 36. It has 48 health. Could this be a speed potion turn? Bearing in mind that we have a shop to get more potions. Honestly,
I think so.
we've only got 1 footwork. Let's not risk it, is my thought.
Yeah.
I'm gonna... Do we draw 1, or do we just refresh? I think we just refresh, right?
I think refresh, yeah. That's what Hey!
Okay, we all... Corpse Explosion is nice, but it doesn't solve that problem. So we always backflip.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a skill in our draw pile that we like? I mean, it could be backflip. Or it could be leg sweep, but... Okay, if we Crippling Cloud, weak brings that down to like 7 or 8, and weak brings that down to like 7 times 2, so 14, 22. I think weak fully blocks, but honestly I haven't checked the math. What if we just... But it does poison. How do you want to play this one?
I'm down to Crippling Cloud. Go and gomble with it.
8 and 14, yeah, 22. You'd think I would have done this math, 25% rounding down, on those specific numbers enough to memorize. But what can I say?
Oh, it's rounding down. I think I should know that too, but I always forget.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine. I like having this at 8.
Yeah, that's fair.
You can see poison is really effective against that thing with all its artifact charges. I mean, sorry, with all its armor, but also it really takes a while with all its artifact charges.
Yeah.
Dodge and roll is kind of godlike right now.
Yeah, I'm down.
Deflect would be good if we were drawing more cards, but not as good as dodge and roll. Okay, this is scaling damage, and this is scaling damage. We could orrery to add a bunch of cards to our deck, which is always interesting, but we could also...
probably higher priorities.
We could also, like, Noxious Fumes plus Snecko Skull is enough damage to kill enemies, and then we can just block.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan, getting both.
If we draw Noxious Fumes turn 1, that is our Blessing of the Forge, by the way. We
Okay.
could also buy a better potion, but we could also card remove. Preference?
Honestly, I think our potions are probably decent enough at this point. Maybe card remove. Well, I don't know.
I think Strike's time has come. No, sorry, Apotheosis.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It is time to exhaust for good, sweet prince. You are worse than Strike Plus.
What a thing.
You are a colorless rare, and I would rather have Strike Plus. Okay, this is a scary fight. But this is a comforting hand. So, the thing about this enemy is the reactive. Upon receiving attack damage, changes its intent.
Oh yeah, this one kills me sometimes.
Because the thing is, it's got some multi-attacks. We're good at dealing with those. It's got some big attacks. We can probably deal with those. But it also has one that just permanently adds a curse into your deck.
Oh my god.
That cannot... And if you remove the curse, you lose 3 max HP. That said, that's not a penalty for us, but...
Yeah.
Still. Let's start rolling our defense. Honestly, I think there's a strong case to be made for just poisoning this thing. But
yeah,
with multiple attacks, like, if you have multiple attacks and energy to play them, it can be safe to do this. Like, do I care
you
about...
can just reroll it.
Like, we could do... I mean, 31 damage is not nothing against 160 health. But I'd like to die, I think.
Sounds good.
Okay, 15.
Okay.
Do we want to make it weak, or do we want to keep 15? If we... Is it weak next turn, or guaranteed good this turn? Probably, like... Probably keep it chill, right?
Yeah, I think probably keep it chill as well.
Is there any card we want more than Corpse Explosion? Yeah, Powers. Crippling Cloud.
Yeah.
Crippling Cloud is strictly better. And Snecko Skull is really great. If our only scaling damage is poison, and we only have small poison cards, Snecko Skull is incredible.
Yes.
Alright, I think we've dealt with this fight. 7 damage and a negative effect is, like, the dream. Like, it might make us vulnerable or whatever, but am I willing to roll the dice on did it get the curse or not? No.
Yeah, let's keep the 7.
That said, it's not going to deal any damage because that was 15 block, but also we want to keep that. So in summary, that is a long explanation of why we don't play any cards that don't have any effect. So it made us weak and vulnerable, which kind of hurts, but also we're not that weak.
Yeah, we've got so much dex.
We could strike, and if it goes bad, we could skewer, but it has attacks that deal more than 29 damage, so I'm not feeling it.
I'm down to wait.
Like, just... do I want to risk a curse for 7 damage?
Probably not.
I would love to kill it eventually, don't get me wrong.
Hey.
Oh, right. We only have, like, 3 unupgraded cards in our deck, so, like... we have no unupgraded cards in our deck.
That's awesome.
Okay, this is a good poison stab because it will not go through its block. I mean, this could be a long fight, so we'll save the Piercing Wail. Also, we do have scaling damage for 1 boss fight. Yeah, we do have the Heart fight sorted. Sorry, we have the Donu Deka fight sorted. So actually the second Corpse Explosion was probably silly considering we do have scaling against the Heart, but this is fine.
Yeah, I honestly completely forgot about Cultist Potion.
Me neither. If we calculated Gamble with 4 cards, we are guaranteed to get one of them. If we calculated with Gamble with 3 cards after playing Footwork, we probably get one of them. But we have a Swift Potion. But also we have an open potion slot, because, like... I don't know. Adding 9 poison would really speed up the fight. But playing this now is the maximum safety.
Yeah.
If we play it first, we've got, what? The odds that we draw all 3 of these and neither of these are pretty low, and we do have a card to do it. So are you willing to risk a potion to end this fight faster?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what happens. This is a learning game.
Cool. And we... nope. This is such an interesting, like, very slow deck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's dead.
Well, it's like so funny, like how I think this is kind of true of Slay the Spire, but like how organically our deck just suddenly became this massive defensive monster that like doesn't have a lot of scaling damage.
I mean, we just weren't offered like scaling damage. And,
yeah.
Like, so we didn't force scaling damage because we had really good front-loaded damage, right?
What is like probably some of the best scaling damage for Silent?
Just poison.
Poison. Yeah.
Next turn we'll play all the attacks we can, but I'm not risking it this turn because curses suck.
Yes. At this point, it's not worth it.
Okay, that is all the attacks we can play, barring neutralize. I'm still scared ending turn, even though I know it's gonna die. Now that's spicy.
Nightmare.
But we only have 1 card that we really want with it, which is Wraith Form, and maybe like honorary mention to Footwork, Dodge and Roll, Noxious Fumes, Backflip, Piercing Wail, Leg Sweep, Bullet Time. Okay, I'm talking myself into it.
I mean, I'm down for it. I think that could be a fun fun card for the end game.
I mean, Nightmare Wraithform Plus is like, hey, do you want to... I heard your deck can block for a long time. Do you want to do it for 9 more turns?
Oh my god.
No, sorry. Yeah, well, 3 turns already, so 9 more is 12.
Hey, it's the lads. This was my first victory. It was over Donim and Deco.
Nice. I think these are always the first final bosses you fight.
Okay, that makes sense.
Do we want to draw cards just to spend some of this nasty, nasty energy?
Yeah, I'd be down.
If we were gonna do that, should have done it first, but we're gonna do it anyway. Let's just take out the artifact charges?
Yeah.
But that doesn't... Then we don't get to dodge and roll.
Right.
I mean, taking 2 is not a big deal now that we're on 68 instead of 69, but still, it's the principle of the thing. No,
We gotta stay as close to the number as we can.
I think I would rather take out artifact charges than have 9 block next turn.
Sounds good.
Oh, Snecko Skull activated to negate the artifact extra hard. Out of my sight. I will say the most important card we could possibly pick up at any card board or shop is... Do you know what it is?
No, I don't think so.
Well-laid plans.
Really?
Yeah, well-laid plans is a super critical silent power. Like, you pretty much always want to have a copy of well-laid plans if you get a chance, because being able to hold a piercing wail until the turn where you want it, being able to hold a wraith form until the turn where you need it, like...
Welly Plans is an amazing card. I for some reason was thinking of... I got it confused, but yeah, it's the one that you hold onto a card between turns, right?
Yeah. Oh, wait. We played Bullet Time, so that was a great calculated gamble.
Godlike calculated gamble.
Okay, so we just have to kill that one. And we have to survive until then, and also, I think we're good.
I had a deck that had like 2 or 3 upgraded well-laid plans, and I don't know, it just felt really good. Like, it wasn't necessarily like that functional at that point, but just knowing that I could hold on to 5 cards if I wanted to.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Nice.
We played an unupgraded card.
Oh.
Noxious Fumes not plus.
Oh my.
Yikes. We could get Nightmare and do something else from our hand a bunch of times next turn. Actually, Master's Full Stab of Nightmare could be good to blast that down.
Yeah.
This full blocks, especially if we neutralize. This is a weird play, but like...
It's not too shabby, yeah, I can see it.
It deals 51 damage. We have full blocked this turn, so let's make this weak. Oh, that's nice. Because then 51 damage to that, plus poison twice, like, this thing is not going to attack again, so it's just this turn. Also, high Wraith form. 55 does not quite do it. We would like to play an extra attack, because I think we're probably done. I mean, if we want, we're done playing cards. Almost.
Yeah. Let poison do the work.
Yeah, I mean, Orichalcum intangible. But we would like another attack or two. I like 8 or 9 as a number to end on.
Yeah, for sure, that makes sense. Or like... Because you have to fight the hearts, like, lackeys first, right?
Yeah.
Or...
Let's do 9. Because, like, we're gonna trigger it on turn 1. Yikes. We could have...
Just a clean 250.
I thought about doing Nightmare Corpse Explosion just to deal, like, 1,000 damage. But it didn't seem as safe as Masterful Stab. So, have you beaten the heart before?
Yeah. Yes, I have. I've
Okay.
beaten... Well, like, I follow your principle of, like, whenever I do Ascension runs, like, I go into it as if I'm going to beat the heart, just because it's, like, a fun to have the extra challenge.
Yeah.
But I think I've only beaten the heart on Ascension with the Ironclad so far.
Okay, well, let's do it again.
Hell yeah.
Cool choices.
Both do nothing.
But since we technically can rest, it doesn't let us skip. You can have Coffee Dripper that doesn't let you rest, and Fusion Hammer that doesn't let you smith, and then there will just be a proceed button.
That's funny.
Caltrops we can't have. Backflip is possible. I mean, this is unupgraded, this is also unupgraded, but the turn that we play it, we can Blessing of the Forge.
Right.
To keep ourselves pure. So honestly, Crippling Cloud, I don't think we need Crippling Cloud anymore against the heart, because I think we have 2 week, 4 week, 6
And
week,
2 recurring week.
6 week, and multiple Piercing Wail.
Yeah.
I think we're good on week. But, like, it's never bad.
Yeah.
But it's also not exciting like Backflip. Or there's just a potion. Like, these potions aren't amazing, but they're just there.
Yeah.
And this is the last shot. So
I mean, I think probably another backflip wouldn't hurt. Just, you know, like, it definitely plays into what our deck does, so.
we have not yet had a turn where I was like, too many backflips. Okay, I definitely want to Crippling Cloud, but I also would love to clear some artifact charges first. I can clear one with Leg Sweep. Another thought. That's a lot of damage. So maybe we don't want to play too many cards. I think we do Footwork. And we have to block, so we might as well Leg Sweep to make the Crippling Cloud pop. Which one would you like to poison? I'm thinking this... So this one is usually the one you kill first with attack damage. This one is the one you might kill with poison, and we can Corpse Explosion it.
Yeah, let's do that then.
I'm not always sure what's correcter. So
Yeah.
this one is still weak, it's just not poisoned, and Sari Skewer, this deals more damage. Oh, also, you're welcome, Skewer. I don't see a point of calculated gamble there. We're gonna save Cultist Potion for the heart fight. So 9, 33, but if we flip, that deals less. Yeah, I don't think we're... I think we can block here. So I think we can afford to play 2 Footwork. Especially because we started with 14 from Horncleat.
Right.
Okay, what skill do we want? Piercing Wail? Or... if we can also Bullet Time and Nightmare something we like. Oh no,
Yeah.
I can't minimize this to look at the fight again. So we are at 31 health, and they are attacking for 42. And we have 9 dexterity. So Dodge and Roll does do it. Finesse does not do it. Piercing Wail does it. Got a card you like?
Let's do Piercing Wail. Keep Dodge and Roll for later.
I mean, the thing about Piercing Wail is that it's very good. Let's flip direction. No, it's 1 times 3. And I'm a big Dumbo.
Oh.
I hope that is not consequential. I don't think it will be. We did face the wrong way, though. Yikes. Okay, 17 is a lot to that, yeah? 17, 29, plus 6. is 35, plus 1 from Snecko Skull.
Hey. Snuck in there.
Snecko Skull lethal. Also, we have an extra energy.
Hell yeah.
Sad not to have Corpse Explosion, but cool ladies walk away from explosions. It is upgraded this time.
My headcanon is that once she got the Snecko Skull relic, she traded out her skull that she's currently wearing and is actually now wearing the Snecko Skull.
I like it. I mean, yeah, this is fine, right?
Yeah, why not?
Like, we'll kill it eventually, but then again, we might not actually kill it in 3 turns if we don't apply any poison during this run through the deck. Maybe we should just poison a bunch and block a bunch. Weak is really nice. Honestly, this protects us for 3 turns. This protects us really good for 2 and damages it. I think it's actually not a Wraith form here. Do we want to deal damage faster or block next turn and deal damage right now? I would rather have 15 block next turn than 9 damage next turn.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. It is adding burns into our deck, which is rude, but I think we got this.
45 block. Oh my god.
Yeah, without even trying.
The block is just a side effect of the card draw from backflip, where it's like, oh, yeah.
You know what? I actually should not have done that. I was just playing cards because they're fun.
Oh, yeah.
Give me one more attack to atone. And Wraith form, I'm sorry. Okay, so we do not get more energy on turn 1. Oh, nice. Nice relic. Riddle with holes with Cultist Potion is a factor to consider.
I mean, yeah, I think it's worthwhile.
Like, another footwork is good, but we need a finisher, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not sanitary. Like, we can go back for it if you want, but...
No, I think we should leave it behind. I like having Snecko Skull as our last relic.
Like, are we sipping it? What the fuck? Alright, we might take some damage. Nah, okay. So let's... I mean, we gotta upgrade all our cards, right? We don't have anything that creates cards. Let's get that out of the way. We probably want to leg sweep, but we always want to draw cards. It's also nice, it starts with 1 beat of death here. There's an ascension where all the bosses get buffed, and then it starts with 2 and goes to 3.
Ooh.
Probably just 9 poison leg sweep, yeah?
Yeah.
Applying weak is really good, especially if the multi-attack comes up. You never know. Maybe one of these multi-attacks, Torai will be relevant. Yikes. I mean, Wraith form is not irrelevant against 45, but I think we can block it. Oh, shit. Caca! So we have 1 less strength for the rest of the fight than we would have had.
We're just flexing on him. We're not even using our full power.
I think
we don't need...
We are not going to kill this in, like, less than, like, 5 turns. So I don't know if we want to start getting really negative dexterity, if we can avoid it.
I agree.
We can... Wait a second. Bullet time is pointless. Hold on. 8, 14... What are... 8 plus 14 is... No, 8 plus 6 is 14. Okay, I've solved that. So 35. I think it's time to see what our top 3 cards are.
I'm down.
They're not Wraith form. And they are not calculated gamble, so I don't think there are any bad hits in here. Yeah, there's nothing here I would be sad to have played. If it hits Skewer, by the way, it does not consume our energy.
Ooh. That's neat.
Well, I mean, same as these other 3, it doesn't consume our energy. Okay, Okay, 6, 14, 40. I think we take a little damage here, honestly. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I'm down. We already lost the sex number. It is what it is.
Like, we don't have enough copies of Feed to get our maximum health up to 420, so, like...
Yeah.
Alright, we do want a Noxious Fumes Crippling Cloud on this, so we're gonna take, like, 1 extra damage.
Feed is the Ironclad rare card, right?
Yeah.
I love that card.
I think I spend 1 health to get a Slime out of our deck.
Yeah. Agreed.
Then again, our deck has 41 cards. Maybe I'd rather have 1 health. I think the odds that we, like, get down to 1 HP and live are better than the odds that, like, we lose because we re-slimed.
That makes sense.
What is this? The number changed. Radiokie, what's happening?
I don't know. It's all falling apart.
We always apply poison here. I think we want Die 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 out of our deck.
Yeah.
Like, it is a slime that also has that shortens the fight. Good news, Torai is going to help here. I don't think Strike is worth it. Thanks, Torai. Okay, backflip first so that we can footwork. And chomp into chomp.
Yes. Hey.
So we get hit a lot. What would we like?
Right.
What would we like to nightmare? Yikes! All our block cards are gone. We want to nightmare something, right? Yikes!
I know.
Can I have one of these, or like this one?
Yeah.
I think we nightmare the footwork. Or
I was thinking too, but
we're not gaining strength enough. Like 6 more turns, this is like 65 damage, which I don't think is that exciting for 2 energy. This clears an artifact, so it's 3 extra. Oh my god. We played an unupgraded Noxious Fumes. What is happening?
that's the second time.
Don't cost us the fight, please. This is like 5% of its health. That's probably worth it, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Orichalcum. In our hour of need. Hey, Torai. I love you.
I know, it's such a good card.
Also Piercing Whale, though. Guaranteed Piercing Whale.
That's good.
And let's just play out our hand. Three more poison or 18 dexterity? I think 18 dexterity, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Over 6 turns, this is what, like 20 damage? Or like 30 damage? Let's not die. Plus, we keep our Nunchaku. So I guess we could have done both, actually, but whatever. I mean, this is nice. I like this part.
And 26 block.
Yeah, I don't think our deck has too many back flips, because I don't have one right now.
Never gonna have too many backflips.
Do we strike and use up our Nunchaku? I mean, we have 6 strength. What is it for?
Yeah.
Sorry, Nunchaku. Okay, 33. That is not a problem. Let's get a skill that sucks out of our deck. Let's get Corpse Explosion out of our deck.
Right.
Yikes. Surely it
10.
just... I'm sure it just doesn't go higher than 10. I feel like it's been more than that. But no, nothing else in the game has, like, hidden caps. Everything else is honest.
Yeah. Huh.
Let's draw more cards. Oh, that sucks. We don't want these. We want well-laid plans.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't see a single well-laid plan, so that's what you were saying, right? Like, that's the one that is probably not unlocked.
But I've had it on this account.
Oh.
Do we want to dodge and roll, or just get a corpse... No, we want to draw, dodge, and roll. Okay. So, 10 more turns maximum. Yikes, this is a long fight. Do we have any more piercing wails? Why did I... There was a time where we took something that wasn't a piercing wail, and I'm questioning how you let me do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice, though. This is 16 plus 4 poison, but this is 28. I think that's always better, right?
Yeah.
It would have to last, like, more turns than we want it to last. Okay, get weakened. Yeah, we should attack on the turn where we have all this. Actually...
I know, right?
Actually, maybe I should have just played Skewer. Skewer is good with all this. Yeah, 5 times 19 is not nothing. I'm praying that doesn't cost the fight. I'm playing a little fast and loose. Okay, what do you think we should do here? I think we should win, actually. Never mind.
Yeah, we should just block, right? And then...
This is what we saved it for.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Riddle with Holes. You were a last-ditch effort, and luckily we didn't need you.
Nice.
When this thing dies, this whole Spire is going.
I'm crashing the Spire with no survivors.
It's been a while since I heard that line referenced. Alright, how do you want to finish it out?
Okay. Well, let's bullet time. Let's freeze time so we can escape this massive explosion. That's definitely necessary. We should backflip out of the Spire, so got it backflip.
I mean, clearly we will survive, but the question is, like, are we upset about it, and are we upset before or after we know we're okay?
I think we piercing wail first because of how intense the situation is.
Like scream on the way down?
Yeah, we're scream on the way down, and then once we realize that we survived, we survived.
Or here's a hot take. Like, do we?
Yeah, no, I like that. We leave it open-ended.
Like,
The last thing was piercing wail.
are we guarding ourselves in our fall, or are we wrapping our cloak around ourselves, or are we too, like, busy screaming?
I think the scream is all-consuming, but
I mean, does she look like an experienced combatant to you? I don't know. What has she accomplished lately?
What has she done to get here?
Yeah, like, has she, like, conquered 55 floors and, like, an unkillable demon god, like, with the... at the behest of other demon gods? Like, as far as I'm aware, she has conquered 54 floors.
This one does not made it.
Alright. So what do you think? Survive? Nah.
Nah.
Alright. I mean...
Ascension 2 Silent. That's a different story.
Ascension 1 is actually considered the easiest difficulty. Easier than Ascension 0 because more elites is more relics.
Oh.
Well, okay, it's the easiest difficulty for people who play at higher difficulties.
Right. But no, that does make sense, though. Like, relics are so amazing.
I don't know if I've done a 3-hour run before, but we analyzed that one, that's for sure.
Yes, I appreciated all the discussion.
Oh, okay. It actually can't unlock twice in one run. Okay. So it
Uh,
wasn't that I got exactly 9.99 last time, probably. It's that there's a cap. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Not twice.
Okay. We only beat one boss without taking damage, but we had a big deck.
Hell yeah.
That's Cloak and Dagger.
Rare.
Honestly, I mean, Cloak and Dagger is amazing. These two are probably worse than not existing. Storm of Steel can be good sometimes. Accuracy is the outmaneuver of powers. You're sometimes glad to have it, but are you glad that it's in your deck?
No.
Anyway.
Yeah. I definitely have fallen for Shiv Bloat, where I just get any card that's related to Shivs, just because it sounds fun.
Yeah. So, overall, how'd you like this?
This was awesome. No, I'm gonna definitely not tonight. I'm probably gonna crash, but coming days I'm gonna do a few runs and because just all the little tidbits plus the general processing something that I hadn't thought about was like just with any hand and thinking about any specific card being okay if I want to play this now think about the energy cost and is there something later that I could draw into that I would rather play? And just that little mentality, I think, is so helpful. I'm just always thinking about what could be coming, what I have now that could be better. Is there something worse that's coming that if I don't play it? So that was awesome.
What I love about Spire is that it always feels like there's something else I can master, but it never feels like I'm failing by not considering it. You know, because the nice thing about a deck builder like this is with 30 cards, it is impossible for a human or frankly for a modern computer to reasonably analyze every possible permutation of how those cards might be in the deck. So perfect play is out the window, right?
For sure. Sure.
It's way out the window. So I never feel like I'm making a mistake if I have failed. Okay, sometimes I feel like I'm making a mistake if I failed to do something I think I should have done, but if I have never considered, oh, should I use Secret Technique to pull my least favorite skill out of the deck? If I've never considered, what should I leave Nunchaku at? When I learned to do that thing, it's just oh my gosh, I never thought about that. When I learned from, another George video that, Act 1, damage commons. Just get them. And I was oh. And then I started doing it, and I was wow, my win rate is way up. To me, I don't want to say I don't want to tell anyone play a game that only gets good after 50 hours or 200 hours or after 600 hours is when the real game starts or whatever, because if a game isn't fun for the first hour, don't keep playing it unless it's your job.
Yeah. Well, something that I kind of feel that reminds me of is I'm kind of the same way where I like games that sort of just can continue your growth can just continue and has a high skill cap. That's awesome. But also there's this video that this guy does about StarCraft where he's being bad at StarCraft is playing the game. That is the game is just struggling and not making perfect decisions because you can't make perfect decisions in StarCraft. And I think it's true for Slay the Spire, where it's you have limited knowledge and time, and you just have to build on your fundamentals and improve where you can. But it's just so open-ended, which is very satisfying.
And I think I found Slay the Spire very engaging when I first started playing it, obviously, because look at me now. I've played it a bunch. Am I good? Some, but I've certainly played it a bunch is the main point.
Yeah.
But for me, one really great thing about learning to play Slay the Spire is it has become much less frustrating as I learn more about it, because early on in the game, when I first started playing, I would just be like, oh, I'll take the cards that look cool, or like I will just take a bunch of defensive cards, and I'll build a really strong synergy with tons of footwork and tons of block, and nothing can touch me. And then I fight an enemy that just like I just pick one strategy and I commit to only that. And then I have an infinite combo that I can do on turn 1 every fight. And then I run into Time Eater, and it turns out I can't block. And I run into the Heart, and it turns out I can't block, even if I made it past Time Eater. And it's like, oh, my infinite combo like is not on its own enough to win the game. So it's super exciting learning a strategy that works. But then like at first it was like, oh, it's frustrating because sometimes the game just kills you. But now it's like, oh, like I have so much more control than I thought I did. Like the best players in the world, like there is at Ascension 20, win rate used to be like 30-40%. Now it's going up to like 40-50, and on the Watcher character specifically, there's one player who has a win rate of 90% at Ascension 20.
What is the Watch? I need to play more Watcher runs.
Yeah, it's bonkers at high level. Like that was the thing that most helped me, was learning that like as I was climbing like Ascension 12, and so often I was like, I'm just getting screwed. There's nothing I could do. I learned, oh, top players win 40% of the time at Ascension 20, but 90% of the time at Ascension 15. And I'm not at Ascension 15 yet, so like I'm like, oh, I drew bad cards. The game screwed me. Well, clearly, it's not. A pro would have 99% win rate at Ascension 7, so like, maybe I shouldn't rage and I should get curious.
That's the biggest thing that I like try to do in my runs, where it's just like, oh, like I learned this fundamental last time, but this time I'm going to see what happens if I put this in my deck and play like this little thing that I'm picking up on, and does it work? And I mean,
I mean, one of my recent videos, I die at Ascension 1, and like, honestly, with the amount of like Spire I've played, realistically, should I be losing at Ascension 1 if I really put my mind to it? No. It's probably shameful. If you've beaten it at Ascension 20 ever, you should probably be able to beat it at Ascension 1 like almost all the time, but like I'm building up a new save file. I want to try new stuff.
Yeah, no, you're learning. And I think that's like the important thing is like, you know, yes, you as you said, you can consistently win at the lower ascensions, but just because like, but that's with using the strategies that you know, and it's like you might find something new that's feasible that like you have to learn through trial by fire again, of being like, oh, all these things don't work. Okay, but maybe one of them does.
Because like fundamentally, this is not a job, despite how like by the time most of you are watching this, my YouTube channel is taken off to 63 million subscribers daily.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
But yeah, I never knew this would be the foundation of my fortune. No, just kidding. Despite all that, this is a game that I play for fun, and every run, if I wasn't enjoying it, I would quit. And like, I like this game every time. Yeah.
No, I mean you've definitely, like, every time I talk to you, like I'm like, I need to play some more Slay the Spire, because like just the way that you contextualize the game makes it, I mean, it is interesting, but like you just highlight the aspects of the game that I'm like, oh yeah, like that's why I want to play this game again.
Thank you. Well,
no
what do you think? 3 hours good enough? 3 hours and 12 minutes good enough? Go for 3 hours 13? Nah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we've hit 3 hours 13.
Yeah.
This has been such a pleasure to play with you, Radiokie.
Likewise, MusicalConman. I love it.
Let's do it again. Not too soon. This was 3 hours. Let's do it again.
Yeah,
but let's do it again kind of soon, and we can also play other stuff.
Yeah, and I'll bother you about stuff. You know, it'll be a good time.
Yeah, send me screenshots and ask what should I have done here and all that nonsense. No joke. Like an evening or two ago, I wrote a 4-paragraph Reddit comment analyzing how someone, don't worry, you're guaranteed to beat Time Eater with your deck 6 fights from now, because look, this is the maximum damage it can do, and this is how much health you have, and you've said you can do an infinite combo on turn 1, and like, actually, if you have Shuriken Decay and Strength, you are guaranteed to deal enough damage to kill it before it kills you. And like, I went to the wiki for numbers and everything.
That's the real shit. When like you know a game and you're just like, I'm putting this knowledge to work.
It was so fun. And then someone else replied to my comment, good, but you didn't take their relics into account. And I'm like, fair enough. I could have gone more in depth, but I did prove that they were guaranteed to kill it. And I thought that was enough.
Yeah.
Like, kill it harder. Okay, 3 hours.
Kill it harder.
3 hours 14 going on 15. This has been great. Let's stop recording. Bye, YouTube.
All right. Bye-bye.